Chapter 23:12. Among them, young Master Qianshan, the eldest and second young masters of the Tang family, and the young prodigies of the other large families were the first to come out. As soon as they came out, they rushed forward to meet up with the powerhouses and elders of their own families. Then, their eyes were cold as they gritted their teeth and stared at the exit. Finally, under their gaze, another group of people walked out. "They're here!" Young Master Qianshan shouted coldly, and his handsome face became ferocious. The powerhouses of the governor's mansion behind him were filled with killing intent. Clang! In an instant, they pulled out their swords and sabers, ready to attack at any time. "Kill!" Young Master Qianshan waved his hand, and the powerhouses of the governor's mansion immediately charged forward. Whoosh! 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 8 figures moved together like flickering shadows and instantly arrived in front of Lin Xian. Boom! Boom! A terrifying attack, the king's domain, blasted downwards without any regard for its own life. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly, and the dragon sword territory on his body instantly surged out, turning into a true dragon that attacked in all directions. Bang! 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 8 figures were sent flying backward. Each of them was pierced by countless sword chi and nailed to the void. "Those who block me will die!" Lin Xian's voice was cold, and a murderous aura surrounded his body like a god of death. His terrifying voice instantly spread in all directions. Hearing this, everyone fell silent. The powerhouses at the front had ugly expressions on their faces. The martial artists who were watching the battle behind felt their scalps go numb. He was too domineering, even more so than in the Moonflower Palace. "Brat, so what if you're arrogant? This is not the Moonflower Palace, where there are no scruples. Do you think you can compete with the entire governor's mansion?" Young Master Qianshan shouted coldly. On the other side, the eldest young master of the Tang family, Tang Kun, and the other young prodigies also sneered. There were countless people around them, and each of them was extremely powerful. The murderous aura on their bodies condensed into a cage that imprisoned the entire space. "Is that so? You're very confident, but you can give it a try." Lin Xian looked around disdainfully and did not care. Beside him, Murong Qingchen also stopped smiling as a horrifying aura spread out from her body. The Crimson Dragon snorted coldly. Come, line up and let Ben Huang barbecue you." Xiao Kuang, Xiao Linger, and Zhao Jiru also secretly circulated their spiritual energy, preparing to attack at any moment. "Charge! Kill him!" Young Master Qianshan coldly snorted. This time, more than 10 experts rushed out. Not only that, the family elders around the city lord's mansion also moved out. In an instant, 50 to 60 figures flickered in the air. Seeing this scene, the martial artists who were watching the battle in the Moonflower Illusion Palace were extremely shocked and did not dare to come out. They began to worry about Lin Xian. Such a powerful lineup, I'm afraid it's impossible to stop them, right? Lin Xian looked at this scene and snorted coldly. Then, he said, "Do it! Tiger!" Murong Qingqing and the Crimson Dragon stood up. On the side, Xiao Kuang also said, "Miss Zero, please help me look after Linger." As he spoke, Xiao Kuang also took a step forward and pulled out the saber on his back. "All right." Zhao Jira sighed. She did not attack, but went to Linger's side and formed a light screen, enveloping the two of them. "You still want to resist? You're overestimating yourself." In front, young Master Qianshan, Teng Kun, and the others sneered. With so many experts attacking together, there was no one who could resist. Lin Xian also made his move. The Crimson Dragon spat out balls of dragon flames, spraying them forward. Murong Qingqing shot out a 5-colored lotus, the bright petals dancing in the air. Lin Xian was even more powerful. The ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand continued to grow bigger, like a huge mountain, and pressed down. In an instant, the 5 experts in front of him were killed by the terrifying sword light. Boom! 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 Terrifying explosions sounded between heaven and earth, and terrifying energy swept in all directions. Countless cracks appeared in the void. Soon, young Master Qianshan and the others screamed. Damn it, this is impossible. They found that the other party had blocked the terrifying attack. There were more than 50 experts. How could the other party block them? The other party only had 4 people. They had seen Lin Xian's strength. They had also heard of Xiao Kuang's reputation. He was an expert from the Hong sect. However, what was going on with the red snake and the beautiful woman? The two of them had extremely powerful auras, and the terrifying divine powers could tear apart an area with a raise of their hands. These were 4 peerless experts. Their scalps tingled. Young Master Qianshan and Ting Kun roared crazily. Kill them all! The two of them were about to go crazy. They did not expect that the experts from their families could not do anything to the other party. Buzz! Dozens of figures quickly charged over. At the same time, the surrounding people joined forces to set up the array. Humph! The Crimson Dragon snorted coldly, waving its dragon claws and swinging its dragon tail, and terrifying energy surged out. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. In the next moment, the great dragon sword soul in his body circulated crazily, and a terrifying energy burst out, directly tearing the entire sky apart. Demon Seal! Brother John! Sky shattering! The 3 killer moves were unleashed, killing in all directions. Kill! Lin Xian waved his ancient sword again. Chaotic pattern! A terrifying sword mark instantly tore through the void. The power of space engulfed many experts. At this moment, Lin Xian was like the god of war, unstoppable. The shadow of a dragon also appeared on his body, and it was very terrifying. Not good. This kid is too strong. Run away quickly! Many elders of the families exclaimed. They originally thought that they could kill the other party by working together. But now, it seemed that it was not the case at all. The other party's strength was completely beyond their imagination. This was definitely comparable to the attack of a peerless expert. If they continued to fight, they would probably be killed. Therefore, for a moment, many families had the intention to retreat. Whoosh! 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 Many elders and the young elites of the families left. The Crimson Dragon looked at this scene and snorted coldly. Want to leave? Not so easy! He waved his dragon claws, and the sky was covered with dark clouds, and heavy rain poured down. Rumble! Lightning fell, and it was a scene of destruction. Those elders and experts of the families were enveloped by the rain and lightning, and they let out miserable cries. That was not ordinary rain. When the raindrops hit their bodies, they instantly pierced through their bodies. Pirates must die, and the lightning was like a heavenly tribulation, striking them until they screamed continuously. In an instant 3 families were directly destroyed. Seeing this scene, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This was too terrifying. Clouds and rain. This was really the legendary divine ability of the dragon race. It seemed that this was definitely a flood dragon. The martial artists who were watching the battle also exclaimed. On the other side, Murong Qingqing used the flying flower divine ability, and the petals danced in the sky. It was abnormally beautiful. But in an instant, it killed the experts of 2 families. This scene was also shocking. Xiao Quan used a terrifying saber technique and also killed many experts. Lin Xian rushed out like a ghost. His target was young Master Qian San and the 2 young masters of the Tang family. Chapter 23:13. Save me! Upon seeing this, young Master Qianshan's scalp went numb, and he did not dare to fight at all. He retreated backward. The powerhouses from the governor's residence rushed forward one after another. Clang! The 5 of them joined forces and blocked Lin Xian. However, the 5 of them were also pushed back. 3 of them were seriously injured, and 2 of them even vomited blood. Their eyes were filled with shock. Upon seeing this, Lin Xian's body swayed. Instead of continuing, he turned around and attacked Teng Kuan and the eldest young master of the Tang family. Damn it! Attack! Tengkuan and the eldest young master of the Teng family roared furiously. At the same time, the two of them retreated frantically. Humph! The three elders of the Teng family walked out. They quickly used their king's domains and rushed out from their bodies. Roar! The silhouettes of three terrifying serpents appeared. This was their king domains, and they seemed real. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws. Roar! As soon as the three-headed soaring serpents appeared, they instantly pounced on Lin Xian. The space in front of them was instantly shattered, and countless black holes appeared. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Lin Xian waved his ancient sword and released 3 streaks of sword chi to fight against the serpents. Boom boom boom. The 3 streaks of sword chi collided with the soaring serpents, causing a shocking collision. Crack! The sword chi was destroyed by the soaring serpents, and the soaring serpents dimmed. They were much weaker than before. Damn it! Upon seeing this, the 3 elders from the Ting family looked gloomy. Their opponent's sword chi is so powerful. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It seems like the Ting family has some tricks up their sleeves. The soaring serpent's silhouettes were very similar to some ancient demonic beasts. Is this family related to the demon clan? He did not know, but he had decided that he would not let these people leave alive. Buzz! Next, he stomped his foot, and the demon-slaying sword formation instantly covered the surroundings. Countless blood-red swords she rushed up from the ground and attacked the eldest young master of the Ting family, and Tengkuan. You're courting death. Upon seeing this, the elders from the Ting family shouted furiously and wanted to stop them. However, the demon-slaying sword she was too terrifying. It carried boundless killing intent and instantly enveloped Tengkuan and the eldest young master of the Ting family. Get lost! The 2 young heavenly geniuses roared angrily. Armor appeared on their bodies, light screens, and other types of defenses to resist. Whoosh! They dodged frantically, but the space they were in was completely enveloped by the sea of blood. They had nowhere to hide and could only take it head-on. Pung pung pung! In just a single clash, their armor, shields, and light barriers were shattered, leaving terrifying cracks on them. No! The 2 screamed crazily, but they couldn't dodge at all. At the moment of crisis, a ferocious look appeared in their eyes, and green scales appeared on their bodies. Those green scales were abnormally ferocious, covering their entire bodies as soon as they appeared. Boom! Clanged the sword chi slashed on their bodies, producing a loud sound, and the 2 of them were sent flying. Eh? Lin Xian furrowed his brows and said lightly. Because the result was beyond his expectations. Originally, the frightening sword aura should have been able to directly split the 2 of them apart. However, it had only injured the 2 of them, and not killed them. When he saw the green scales on his opponent's body, his pupils shrank. The demon clan! Lin Xian was too shocked because the people who protected Yan Ryu previously had such scales on their bodies. However, the other party was wearing human skin. However, why did the Ting family have such scales too? Could it be that the other party was also from the demon clan? He was too shocked. The King Almighties in the surroundings also exclaimed. It was rumored that the Ting family was a half-demon clan. It seemed like it was true. Yes, it was said that their ancestor was born from the union of a soaring serpent and a human powerhouse. They originally thought it was just a legend, but it seemed like it was true. Sounds of discussion could be heard. After Lin Xian heard it, he narrowed his eyes. A half-demon clan. He didn't expect the Ting family to have such a background. On the opposite side, the Ting family's eldest young master and Tengkuan also spat out a mouthful of blood. Then, the scales on their bodies flickered and quickly healed their wounds. There was a terrifying sword mark on their bodies that cut open their scales, revealing deep white bones. Fortunately, they had activated the demon clan's bloodline in an instant, causing their bodies to become abnormally strong. In addition to the scales on their bodies, they were not cut in half. However, their expressions were incomparably gloomy and cold. Brat, you're courting death. I'll definitely kill you today. Tengkuan gritted his teeth, and the Ting family's eldest young master was surrounded by a murderous aura. When the elders saw this, They no longer hid their strength, and scales appeared on their bodies. Illusory figures of soaring serpents circled behind them. These figures of soaring serpents circled in the air and condensed into an even larger soaring serpent that was 30,000 meters long. "What's this?" Everyone was stunned, but someone also exclaimed, "This is their bloodline power." They were from the same clan, so their bloodline power could naturally be merged. Heavens, this attack is too terrifying. It's definitely at the level of a peerless almighty. I wonder if this brat can resist it. Roar! The 30,000-meter tall soaring serpent danced in the air and covered the entire sky. As soon as it appeared, it kept roaring, and its voice shattered the 9 heavens. Then, the gigantic body and head charged towards Lin Xian at high speed. The runes in the sky flickered, and the light pierced through the 9 heavens. This scene made everyone's heart beat wildly. The people behind quickly fled into the Moonflower Palace, because there was a formation in the palace that could protect their safety. The experts outside also put up their armors or shields to defend themselves. Because just the aftermath of this energy was enough to kill an ordinary almighty. If their son was hit directly, he would definitely be killed instantly. Not good, retreat. When Xiao Kuang saw this scene, he quickly retreated, protecting Xiao Linger and retreating into the Moonflower Palace with Zhao Zhiro. Only Lin Xian, Murong Qingqing, and the Crimson Dragon were left in front of them. The 3 of them shone brightly, resisting the terrifying energy impact. At this moment, Lin Xian also moved. The ancient sword in his hand slashed forward, and a resplendent sword light slashed down, turning into a huge dragon that danced in the air. The huge dragon seemed to be real, and it was extremely powerful. The moment it appeared, it roared in the void. Boom, boom, boom! The illusory figures of dragons and serpents fought in the sky. Everyone was shocked. This scene was too shocking. The battle between the 30,000-meter tall soaring serpent and the terrifying huge dragon shook the 9 heavens. They had probably never seen such a scene in their lives. However, what shocked them even more was Lin Xian's strength. One had to know that the soaring serpent in front of them was formed by countless experts of the Tang family, and it was equivalent to an attack from a peerless almighty. Even so, the other party was still able to block it. This made them unable to believe it. What level has this brat reached? Has he reached the level of a peerless almighty? Boom! Just as they were letting their imaginations run wild, the scene in front of them changed again. Monthly votes over 220, more chapters. Over 250, more chapters. Chapter 23:14. There was a huge explosion in the sky. The soaring serpent wailed as its head was crushed by the dragon's claw. Terrifying rune light scattered in all directions. Roar! A loud dragon roar sounded, then it turned into a sword light and slashed down. Puff! The soaring serpent phantom was split into 2 halves. Light scattered down, and its huge body caused cracks to appear in the space. Puff! Puff! The Tang family's martial artists all vomited blood and flew backward with pale faces. They clutched their hearts in shock. Damn it! Impossible! This is impossible! How can he be so powerful? I don't believe it! The Tang family's powerhouses went crazy, especially Ting Kuan and the eldest young master of the Tang family. They were terrified as if they had seen a ghost. That was a young man who was about the same level as them. How could he resist the attack of an almighty? They didn't dare to imagine. Even though they were top-notch geniuses, they were still far from being able to match up to an almighty figure. Because it was an insurmountable chasm. However, the other party did it. Their faces were filled with shock. Young Master Qiansan's pupils constricted. This scene shocked him. He realized that he had underestimated the other party. He had only seen the other party's aura from the yin-yang sects yin-yang saint and saintess. In other words, the other party was a saint. Thinking of this, his heart beat wildly. The saint was the top existence among the young people. Generally, at this level, the saint and saintess basically had the combat power of an almighty. Although they were also prodigies, they were not on the same level as the saint and saintess. Therefore, when he thought of this, his face became extremely ugly. In the next moment, he roared and quickly retreated. This kid was a saint. Let the Almighty attack him! Young Master Qianzhen roared as he retreated frantically. When the surrounding people heard this, they were all stunned. What? A saint-level prodigy? Heavens, who the hell is this kid? Could it be that he was really a saint from a large sect? They didn't dare to imagine, but at this moment, everyone was terrified and unconsciously retreated. The millions of martial artists in the Moon's shameful palace were even more shocked when they saw this scene. They originally thought that the city lord's mansion and the major families could easily kill the other party. But unexpectedly, the situation was far beyond their expectations. A young man with a long sword had actually intimidated hundreds of experts. This was simply too shocking. For a time, many people fled. After all, although they were strong, they were still unable to fight against the battle strength of an unparalleled Almighty. Therefore, they decided to leave temporarily. He would wait for the true peerless experts of the clan to arrive before killing the other party. You want to leave? How could this be? Lin Xian sneered. He wouldn't let his enemy leave. Even if these people were from the city lord's mansion and the big families, it was the same. 1. The Crimson Dragon raised its hand and formed a formation that suppressed the surroundings. Seeing that their way was blocked, these people's faces turned pale. They turned their heads and roared ferociously. Damn brat! You dare to stop us? You're dead meat. My city lord manor is nearby, and very soon, a peerless expert will be alerted. Young Master Qianzhen roared. Is that so? Then let's see if the peerless expert of this city lord manor is faster than me. I hope you can hold on for a while. As he spoke, Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms, and a terrifying aura quickly surged from his body. 1. In the next moment, a shocking change appeared on his body. Half of his majestic body turned pitch black and burned fiercely. The other half turned azure, like a divine crystal. Seeing this change, everyone was shocked. Young Master Qianzhen screamed. Damn it, how was this possible? Yin Yang's superpower! He was stunned because he realized that this scene was very similar to the Yin Yang superpower on his body. Right now, he was half black and half white. And the other party was not using the Yin Yang superpower, but the ice and fire superpower. What was the other party trying to do? Was he trying to imitate the Yin Yang sex cultivation method? What a joke! This kind of cultivation method had a mental cultivation method and internal circulation route. It couldn't be wrong at all. Did the other party think that he could imitate the appearance of the Yin Yang sect? Was there something wrong with his brain? However, in the next moment, his body trembled because two long swords appeared in front of him. One was a long sword of fire, and the other was a long sword of ice. The power of ice and fire was released, and it was very similar to the Yin Yang blade. Come on, have a taste of my ice and fire swords. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. This superpower was performed by observing the Yin Yang blade and using the great dragon sword soul. Damn it, you're deliberately mystifying me. I don't believe that your power can surpass my Yin Yang blade. Young Master Qianzhen gritted his teeth, and the black and white blades appeared in front of him again. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the ice and fire swords flew out. Bang! The two superpowers collided in the air, tearing the void apart. The Yin Yang Qi filled the air, and the power of ice and fire rampaged. Boom! 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 Young Master Qianzhen kept retreating and vomited blood again. His face was full of shock. That was because his Yin Yang blade was shattered again. The other party's terrifying ice and fire swords were quickly approaching him. He had no choice but to ask the powerhouses next to him for help. Soon, 7 powerhouses joined hands to block the ice and fire swords. However, their arms were numb, and their faces were full of shock. 2 of the powerhouses even had their arms chopped off. Damn it, how can the power be so strong? Why are you so surprised? Don't panic, the best part is yet to come. Lin Xian looked at his opponent and formed a seal with his palms again. Buzz! The ice and fire swords quickly transformed into a yin-yang blade, just like the previous one. What? Yin-yang blade? How did you do that? That's impossible. How did you know the superpower of the yin-yang sect? Young Master Qianshan was about to go crazy, and the surrounding people were also shocked with their mouths wide open. Heavens, how did this kid do it? If I'm not wrong, you haven't mastered the yin-yang blade yet, right? Look at the yin-yang sect's superpower. However, I don't think you can do it. Today, I'll show you what the yin-yang blade looks like. With that, Lin Xian waved his hand, and the yin-yang blade in front of him flashed rapidly, forming a terrifying long blade. It was black and white, and it emitted a terrifying power. No! How did you do it? Young Master Qianshan went crazy. Indeed, the yin-yang superpower was the yin-yang fusion. For example, the yin-yang blade could merge into one. However, he was not strong enough to merge the yin-yang blade yet. However, his opponent did it so easily. He could not believe it. Among the younger generation of the yin-yang sect, there were less than 4 people who could do that. Although he was a prodigy, he could not do it at all. On the other side, Lin Xian waved his hand, and the terrifying yin-yang blade instantly enveloped young Master Qianshan. Chapter 23:15. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the terrifying yin-yang saber descended mercilessly, instantly enveloping young Master Qiansan. No! Young Master Qiansan screamed crazily and fled like a madman. The yin-yang qi in his body circulated rapidly. He wanted to escape. Beside him, the 13 mighty figures also roared angrily, and their king domains quickly surged out to resist. Boom! In the next moment, the yin-yang sabers slashed down, and the 13 king domains were instantly shattered. The 13 mighty figures' bodies were split in half, and they fell to the ground. Young Master Qiansan, who was running away, also froze in midair. Puff! A blood line appeared between his eyebrows, and blood instantly flowed out, dyeing his face red. With a crack, his body split open from the middle. Plop! Young Master Qiansan's body fell into a pool of blood. Although it was split open, his eyes were filled with shock. He did not expect that he would be killed by his own ultimate technique, the yin-yang saber. It was probably the greatest irony. What? Young Master Qiansan is dead! The 13 mighty figures are all killed! Everyone went crazy. This saber was too terrifying. Nothing could stop it. When the other families saw this scene, they were even more frightened. This young man even dared to kill the people of the governor's mansion. They were afraid that this young man would definitely not let them go. Especially Elder Zhang of the Teng family, his face was extremely ugly. The eldest young master of the Teng family and Tingkuan were so scared that their faces turned pale. They no longer had the arrogance from before, and it was replaced by a hint of fear. They just wanted to escape from here. Go quickly! Everyone fled crazily, bombarding the array formation in all directions. They wanted to escape. Whoosh! Lin Xian waved his hand, and the space domain instantly flew out, covering the entire space. The sword qi that filled the sky scattered mercilessly like a divine sword descending from the sky. Ah! Screams rang out. The powerhouses of the families in the distance were all pierced by the divine sword and nailed to the ground. No one could resist it. This was because this was the strongest power. Clang! Clang! The other elders and young geniuses of the family screamed in pain as they were all killed. The Teng family could still resist. They relied on the power of their bloodline and merged with their bodies to form terrifying soaring serpents that firmly protected them. However, in the face of the terrifying divine sword attack, they were still affected. Many of them spat out blood, and some of them even had their energy sucked dry. They directly turned into human skin and fell to the ground. However, the core members, eldest young master and Tingkuan, were not killed. Seeing this, Lin Xian snorted coldly and charged forward. The azure dragon's large hand reached out and grabbed forward. Tinkuin and the Ting clan's eldest young master screamed crazily, their faces filled with despair. Those elders' faces were also pale. If they were caught, they would definitely die. However, at this moment, the void behind them suddenly split open, and a hand reached out. Pung pung pung. The pitch-black palm collided with the azure dragon palm in midair. After that, the two of them clashed 18 times in a row, and the void in the sky exploded. There was nothing that could withstand such terrifying energy. A peerless mighty figure had made his move. Fortunately, the Moonflower Palace had a super-strong array that blocked all the attacks. Looking at this scene, they were extremely shocked. Lin Xian furrowed his brows even more. He could feel that this person was extremely terrifying. He was definitely a peerless almighty. Ka ka ka! His azure dragon palm shattered, turning into countless energy that scattered in all directions. The pitch-black palm enveloped Tinkuin and the others, pulling them into the spatial crack and disappearing. Although there was a defensive array in the Moonflower Palace, the cultivators were still shaken to the ground by the terrifying force, and their faces were pale. They trembled. A peerless almighty figure. A peerless almighty figure had finally appeared. Needless to say, this should be the Ting family's peerless almighty figure. However, what made them even more shocked was that Lin Xian was actually able to fight evenly with a peerless almighty figure. It was really too shocking. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. He did not expect that the first peerless almighty figure was not from the city lord's mansion, but from the Ting family. This really surprised him. At the side, the crimson dragon flew over. Kid, do you want to chase after it? Behind it, Murong Qingqing, Xiao Kuang, Linger, Zhao Zhiruo, and the others also walked over. However, before they could speak, a black rune suddenly appeared under their feet. It spread in all directions and quickly formed a picture of the 9 netherworld flower. Whoosh! In the next moment, the 9 netherworld flower bloomed and completely enveloped Lin Xian and the others. They disappeared on the spot. What happened? In the Moonflower Palace, the people who saw this scene were all stunned. They looked around and realized that Lin Xian and the others had actually disappeared. Did they leave? They did not know, but when they felt the surrounding energy disappear, they walked out in shock. In the next moment, they trembled again because a few powerful figures descended like an ancient demon mountain. They were pressed to the ground again. There were 3 figures, and their bodies were shining like war gods. Their bodies were cold, and their eyes were like divine lamps, making people not dare to look at them directly. Who made a move here? One of them asked coldly. As for the other 2, their gazes scanned their surroundings. Young master! Suddenly, they screamed and waved their hands, and the corpse on the ground floated up. When the 3 peerless almighties saw this scene, their faces instantly changed. Ah! They roared crazily, and their voices shook the 9 heavens. In an instant, millions of warriors fainted, and the remaining almighties vomited blood, their faces full of fear. Who dares to kill the young master of this city lord mansion? The 3 peerless almighties roared at the sky and stared at the remaining warriors. Those warriors' scalps went numb, and their bodies trembled. Boom! One of the peerless almighties stretched out his hand like a demon king and instantly grabbed another almighty. Speak, who is it? Who did it? The almighty trembled, and his face was full of fear. He was about to speak. But in the next moment, his body suddenly exploded. The peerless almighty grabbed with his hand and began to forcibly collect the other party's soul. Soon, he waved his sleeve, and the blood mist in the sky disappeared completely. Everyone was shocked. A almighty was killed just like that? It was like cutting grass. Was this the power of a peerless almighty? It was terrifying. It was this kid. One of the peerless almighties flicked his finger, and the image he collected from the other party's memory condensed in the sky. It was a handsome young man in a red robe. It was Lin Xian's image. It was this kid. He was the one who killed young Master Qianshan. Everyone, listen up. Find him at all costs. We must catch this kid. From now on, seal off Qianshan City. We must not let him escape. At the same time, contact all the forces in Qianshan City. Once they find him, kill him without mercy. A cold voice sounded, and the warriors of the city lord mansion moved quickly. The three peerless almighties quickly rose into the air. The three of them stood in three directions, and quickly formed hand seals with their hands. His soul power covered the sky and spread out in all directions. Chapter 23:16. However, they didn't know that Lin Xian had been teleported away from Qianshan City. Of course, Lin Xian and the others didn't leave on their own accord. They were teleported away. The 9 nether flower was very mysterious. It enveloped Lin Xian and the others and teleported them 100,000 miles away. Whoosh! With a flash of light, Lin Xian and the others appeared in a barren mountain. As soon as they appeared, Lin Xian's great dragon sword soul was instantly activated. The dragon sword realm enveloped the surroundings and protected the others. Murong Qingqing, the crimson dragon, and the others instantly regained their consciousness. They looked around cautiously. They were surrounded by barren mountains. There was no one around except for a few crows cawing. However, when they arrived, the crows flapped their wings and quickly left. In front of them stood a group of people. They were Ting Kuan and the other martial artists of the Ting family. Boom! Boom! In the sky, a large black ship slowly descended. The ground trembled and countless cracks appeared. The ship was 100 meters long, and there were various palaces on it. The body of the ship was pitch black as if it had rushed out from hell. There were black flowers growing on it. The shape of the black flowers was exactly the same as the ones that enveloped Lin Xian and the others. It was the 9 nether flower. 4 silhouettes appeared on the black ship. Among them, 2 figures sat there like emperors, overlooking the common people. The other one held a black 9 nether flower in his mouth and looked at Lin Xian and the others with a sneer. The last one flashed and directly appeared in front of Ting Kuan and the others. His speed was so fast that many powerhouses couldn't see him clearly. How did he move? Oh no, it's them! When Xiao Kuang saw this scene, his pupils instantly shrank and his face became incomparably ugly. Brother Xiao, do you know them? Lin Xian asked. Xiao Kuang's face turned pale. It was them, the 4 Jiuli demons. He didn't expect them to come here. The 4 Jiuli demons. Hearing this name, Lin Xian frowned. It seemed that the 4 of them had a strong background. These were 4 extremely terrifying devil kings. They killed people like scything flax and had no scruples. They were extremely terrifying. The 4 of them moved together. Among them, the great devil and the second devil were peerless almighties. Although the 3 devils and 4 devils were not peerless almighties, they were not far off. He had far surpassed ordinary pinnacle almighties. He was probably half a peerless almighty. What was even more terrifying was that the 4 of them were working together. Therefore, no one could stop them. He did not expect the Ting family to summon the 4 Jiuli devils. Brother Lin, let's hurry up and escape. Xiao Kuang's complexion was incomparably pale. Although he was usually very arrogant, facing the 4 devils of Jiuli, he was extremely shocked. This was because the 4 of them together were equivalent to 3 peerless almighties. However, just as Xiao Kuang finished speaking, the black figure in front of him turned around and sneered. Want to run? Do you think you can run in front of us? He was the 4th of the 4 devils. At this moment, the 4th devil's gaze was fixed on Lin Xian and the others. He sneered. I didn't expect you kids to be so powerful. You're able to make us attack. However, your luck has come to an end. In front of us, you should obediently kneel and wait for your deaths. Of course, the 3 beauties can live. It's been a long time since I've seen such beauties. Coincidentally, we're lacking a few cultivation cauldrons. Come over and obediently become our cultivation cauldrons. The 4th devil spoke with a hint of malice in his voice. Hearing this, Murong Qingqing snorted coldly. Zhao Jira and Linger's expressions changed. Humph! You dare to attack the Hong sect? Xiao Kuang gritted his teeth and said. So what if we attack you? At this moment, Ting Kun snorted coldly. You killed my 3rd brother, and committed a heinous crime. Even if we kill you, what can you do? Moreover, we're in the wilderness. Even if we kill you, the Hong sect won't know it's us. Humph, but don't worry, it won't be that easy for you to die. I'll capture all of you and let you know what it's like to be alive. The eldest son of the Ting family also snorted coldly. The death of their third brother had infuriated them greatly. Moreover, they had also lost many elites in the process. They would definitely avenge their third brother. Do you think it's possible for you to avenge your third brother? Do you think that you can save your lives just because you have 4 evil spirits? What a joke! Lin Xian sneered disdainfully. Hearing this, Teng Kun and the others were stunned. They could not believe their ears. In front of them, the 4th devil was stunned. A murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Not only that, but the other 3 devils on the black ship also looked gloomy. Their gazes were as sharp as knives as they swept across the void. How dare someone look down on them? Moreover, the person was a teenager. It seemed that he was ignorant. He had a death wish. The 4th devil sneered. Kid, it seems that you're still young and ignorant. I don't think you've heard of us, the 4 devils of Jiuli. Well, I'll let you know that there's always someone better than you out there. Are you the one who killed 3rd young master? Don't worry, I'll torture you to death. The 4th devil said coldly. He looked like he was in his 30s, but no one knew his real age. He was definitely more than 1,000 years old. His face was pale, and his eyes were extremely vicious. As he turned, there was terrifying energy. Buzz! He stretched out his palm and instantly turned into a black mountain that covered the sky. As soon as the black palm appeared, the expressions of Jirua and the others changed because the other party was too powerful. He had far surpassed the top mighty figures. Moreover, he was only the 4th devil. There were still 3 terrifying demon kings above him. Especially the great demon, no one knew what realm he had reached. They only knew that he was extremely terrifying. Do you really think you can kill me? What a joke! Lin Xian looked at the black palm and snorted coldly. Buzz! Countless sword chi appeared behind him and turned into an azure dragon that floated in the air. The terrifying dragon's shadow covered the sky. As soon as the dragon's shadow appeared, the expressions of Teng Kun and the others changed again. Even the 4th demon was frowning. That was because he felt an extremely terrifying aura. Brother Lin, let me deal with him. However, at this moment, Xiao Kuang spoke in a deep voice. Hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. Murong Qingqing and the others were also very confused. In front, the 4th devil sneered. Xiao Kuang, you dare to attack me? Have you forgotten what happened 300 years ago? 300 years ago? What happened? Lin Xian and the others were puzzled. It seemed that this was not the first time Xiao Kuang and the 4th devil had come into contact. Hearing the 4th devil's words, Xiao Kuang's expression became extremely gloomy. His eyes were emitting a piercing cold light. You went too far 300 years ago. Today, I'll make you pay. He pulled out the saber on his back and strode forward. Chapter 23:17. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian frowned, but he did not stop him. There must be hatred between the two of them. All right, let them fight first. Xiao Kuang was a top-notch powerhouse. Although it would be difficult for him to deal with the 4th demon, he might be able to put up a fight. More importantly, Lin Xian was confident that he would be able to save her in the nick of time. Therefore, he did not make a move. The dragon's shadow also returned to his body. 4th demon, die! In front of him, Xiao Kuang roared crazily. A terrifying saber light descended from the sky like lightning. The surrounding mountains exploded in an instant, and terrifying cracks appeared on the ground. This scene made many people's expressions change. The people from the Ting family were also shocked. Xiao Kuang is so strong. Yes, he was seriously injured 300 years ago. Not only did his cultivation not regress, but it also improved by leaps and bounds, becoming a top-notch powerhouse. It's very heaven-defying. A few elders discussed in low voices. On the side, The eldest young master snorted coldly. So what? The fourth demon is in existence that surpasses top-notch powerhouses. No matter how powerful Xiao Kuang is, he's no match for him. Humph. You're courting death. As expected, the fourth demon sneered. 300 years ago, I could seriously injure you with a palm. I can do the same now. In the next moment, he slapped out with his palm. A terrifying palm wind surged crazily. The black palm shadow was like the river Styx, surging in the sky and enveloping the entire sky. The entire world began to tremble under the might of the palm. Boom, boom, boom. In the next moment, the two attacks collided, and a dazzling light burst out. The shocking sound was like thunder, descending in all directions. The surrounding cultivators of the Ting family sealed their hearing and put up a defense to resist. On Lin Xian's side, Murong Qingqing also raised his hand, and a five-colored lotus flower enveloped everyone. Bang! In the next moment, Xiao Kuang was sent flying, and a trace of blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. His face turned pale. It could not be helped. The two of them were not on the same level at all. Although Xiao Kuang was considered a terrifying powerhouse and a top-notch powerhouse, he was still a little inferior in front of the fourth demon. After all, the fourth demon was in existence that surpassed top-notch powerhouses. As expected, I'm no match for him. When Ting Kuan and the others saw this, they sneered in disdain. Linger, on the other hand, cried out in alarm, her beautiful face turning pale with fright. Murong Qingqing, Zhao Jiro, and Lin Xian also frowned. However, when they sensed that Xiao Kuang wasn't heavily injured, they all breathed a sigh of relief. Humph, I've said it before, you're not my opponent at all. Up ahead, the fourth devil sneered. Just as he had expected, although 300 years had passed, the other party was still unable to withstand his palm strike. Although the other party was also a pinnacle almighty, there was no way he could fight against him. This palm strike was enough to severely injure the other party. However, in the next moment, he was stunned. This was because he discovered that even though he was coughing up blood, he didn't seem to be seriously injured. The other party stopped steadily on the ground, and his aura didn't weaken by much. What's going on? Why is it like this? This brat can actually block my attack? The fourth devil's expression sank. The people from the Ting family frowned too, and the smiles on their faces disappeared. Humph, the fourth demon lord must not have used his full strength. Otherwise, Xiao Kuang would be dead for sure. That's for sure. How could Xiao Kuang be a match for the fourth demon lord? Just wait and see, he'll be killed by the next palm strike. Many people discussed animatedly. The fourth devil snorted coldly. Indeed, although the previous palm strike was terrifying, it wasn't his full strength. He didn't need to use his full strength to deal with a pinnacle almighty. In the next moment, his frown deepened because he discovered that the other party was smiling. The smile was very strange, and it made the fourth devil frown. He snorted coldly. Damn it, what are you smiling about? Do you believe that I'll twist your head off for you? However, Xiao Kuang sneered. I'm laughing at how pitiful you are. Your strength hasn't changed much compared to 300 years ago. However, I've become a pinnacle almighty from an elite almighty. Fourth devil, you've regressed. It won't be long before I surpass you completely. Presumptuous. Nonsense. The fourth devil sneered. I haven't improved? Do you think that it's easy to improve at my level? He snorted coldly. How many people haven't improved in 1,000 years? Kid, you're too weak. You haven't reached my level yet, so you don't know how difficult it is to improve. You want to catch up with me? Stop dreaming. Today is the day you die. You won't have the chance. Is that so? That's not necessarily true. I'll show you how much I've improved in the past 300 years. Xiao Kuang looked up to the sky and laughed. It was the demon slayer saber. With a roar, he held the saber with both hands and slashed forward. Upon seeing this sight, everyone immediately turned their gazes toward Zhang Xian. The fourth devil frowned, but after waiting for a long time, there was no flash of saber light. This caused everyone to be extremely puzzled. Even Lin Xian and the rest narrowed their eyes. What's going on? Zhao Jiro was puzzled. On the other side, the eldest young master of the Ting family laughed disdainfully. Ha ha! I thought it was a trump card, but it didn't have any power at all. Is this the strength of the Hong sect? They snorted disdainfully. The fourth devil sneered coldly. You're courting death. Do you think your fancy punches and kicks can hurt me? Kid, if you don't have any other trump cards, don't blame me for killing you. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, a black saber light appeared in the sky and slashed downward. The attack was too fast, and more importantly, it was too sudden. No one had noticed it before, and even Lin Xian was surprised. The fourth devil didn't expect it either. Therefore, he was hit by the saber and was sent flying for 3,000 meters. Boom! 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 The fourth devil retreated, knocking over countless mountains. Terrifying cracks appeared in the void. The fourth devil's black robe was torn apart, and his hair was scattered. His armor didn't break, but there was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. That was because the saber attack had caused his body to churn. This was because he was strong. If it had been an ordinary top-notch almighty, he probably wouldn't have been able to withstand this saber strike. How dare you hurt me! The fourth devil reached out and tore his black robe, revealing his black armor. His eyes were cold as killing intent exploded from his body. He was furious. He didn't expect his opponent to hurt him with a single attack. Although the attack didn't cause any fatal damage, it was no different from a slap to his face. The other cultivators of the Ting family were also stunned. There was a trace of lingering fear in their hearts because they realized that if they were to face such an attack, they would not be able to dodge at all. They might even be killed in one move. Damn it, how did this guy have such a terrifying saber technique? What kind of ability is that? Chapter 23:18. Damn it. How could this guy have such a terrifying saber technique? What kind of divine ability was that? Their faces darkened. On the other side, Murong Qingqing, Lin Xian, and the others exclaimed. Linger, on the other hand, clapped her hands and cheered. Great, kill them! Brother Xiao, you can do it! Go and die! In front, the fourth demon roared and pounced over like a demon king. Terrifying black ghost claws surged in the sky. Swoosh! Swoosh! Xiao Kuang did not take it head-on. He quickly executed his movement technique and dodged. This was because he knew that there was a gap between them. Taking it head-on would not end well. He quickly pulled away and dodged the terrifying claws. At the same time, the demon's slaying saber attacked again. Buzz! The terrifying black saber light appeared and disappeared mysteriously as if it had come from another world. It appeared behind the fourth demon in an instant. Then, it slashed the fourth demon's body. Bang! The fourth demon was sent flying again and landed on the ground. Boom! A deep pit appeared on the ground. Dense cracks spread in all directions. Ah! The fourth demon roared angrily. He did not expect to be hit again. This was intolerable. However, before he could stand up, the terrifying saber light in the sky slammed him down again. Boom! A total of 3 black saber lights slammed the fourth demon into the ground. There was no trace of him at all. There was only a pitch-black hole. Phew! In the sky, Xiao Kuang was panting and his face was pale. It was obvious that using this ultimate move continuously consumed a lot of his energy. However, his eyes were abnormally bright. They were like stars as he stared at the ground. Damn it! How could this be? When the cultivators of the Ting family saw this scene, their faces changed again. Especially the eldest young master, Ting Kun, and the elders. Their faces were filled with fear. They knew how powerful the fourth demon was. He could even kill a top almighty with ease. But now, he had been slammed into the ground. In fact, it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Xiao Kuang in front of them was already so powerful. On the black ship, the other 3 figures also looked in their direction. Among them, the first demon and second demon were expressionless while the third demon was playing with the 9 nether flower in his hand. Interesting. However, it was still not enough. It seemed that they were very confident in the fourth devil. Sure enough, in the next moment, the ground split open, and a figure rushed up like lightning. Demonic chi revolved around his body, and his black hair fluttered in the wind. His entire being was filled with killing intent. It really was the fourth demon. The murderous aura on his body was monstrous. He was covered in blood and his face was abnormally ferocious. Although the previous slashes did not take his life, he was still injured. More importantly, he couldn't stand such a thing. The fourth devil was so angry that his lungs felt like they were about to explode. Not too long ago, he had been able to send an ant flying with a single slap. But now, he was injured. This huge contrast made him unable to accept it. Damn brat! I'm going to kill you! The fourth devil was enraged. The demonic chi on his body pierced through the heavens and the earth, causing the surrounding clouds to churn and cover the entire sky. Boom! Boom! In the sky, dark clouds covered the city. Dozens of demonic claws appeared, covering the sky and covering the earth as they clawed downward. Demonic shadows appeared in the surroundings. They held black sickles in their hands and were abnormally terrifying. Boom! Boom! As soon as these demonic shadows appeared, they pounced forward without any regard for their lives. Soon, they were enveloped by countless demonic chi, and earth-shattering sounds of battle could be heard. Xiao Kuang and the fourth demon were fighting together. Although Xiao Kuang's demon-slaying saber was extremely terrifying and unpredictable, it still could not threaten the fourth demon's life. On the contrary, the fourth demon used a few terrifying divine abilities that injured Xiao Kuang. In fact, one of the moves almost took his life. At this moment, Xiao Kuang's body was broken and bleeding, but he still refused to stop. Ah! He roared towards the sky and used all his strength to strike out with the demon's slaying saber again. Whoosh! This saber appeared behind the fourth demon, instantly cutting through his armor and smashing into his body. Blood spurted out in an instant, dyeing the armor red and dyeing the entire sky red. This was the blood of the Demon King. It was extremely terrifying and instantly pierced through the void. The ground was also dyed red, turning into countless drops of blood and sweat. He was injured. Seeing this scene, Ten Kuan and the others exclaimed in disbelief. Even the third demon, who was on the black ship, exclaimed. It was obvious that this scene had also surprised him. The fourth demon's expression was even more distorted. The other party had actually injured him, and even destroyed his armor. Unforgivable. He struck out with both palms, and a huge black hand covered the sky and earth, instantly enveloping Xiao Kuang. Crack! 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 Countless bones in Xiao Kuang's body were broken as he flew backwards. However, the fourth demon obviously did not let him go. In the sky, 300 demonic claws appeared, tearing through the void, wanting to crush Xiao Kuang. Ah! Brother Xiao! Seeing this scene, Linger cried out in alarm, her little face pale. Zhao Jiruo's heart was also in her mouth. She was extremely nervous. However, at this moment, a sharp sword light suddenly appeared in the sky, pouring down like the Milky Way. It instantly cut through the 300 demonic claws. Bang! Bang! Countless black she rolled, and the 300 demonic claws disappeared in the sky. At the same time, a 5-colored lotus flower caught Xiao Kuang and gently placed him on the ground. What? He was blocked. On the other side, the fourth demon was stunned, and the people of the Tang family exclaimed. On the other side, Zhao Jiruo, Linger, and the others all surrounded Xiao Kuang. Zhao Jiruo even took out countless spiritual herbs and fed them to Xiao Kuang. Xiao Kuang coughed out 2 mouthfuls of blood, swallowed the pills, and then smiled. Don't worry, I won't die. However, it was enough to injure the fourth demon. Indeed, although this palm had injured Xiao Kuang, he was very happy. This was because 300 years ago, he was seriously injured by the other party, but 300 years later, he was able to successfully injure the other party. This change made Xiao Kuang very satisfied with himself. However, on the other side, the fourth demon's face was extremely gloomy. The murderous aura on his body turned into demonic claws that pierced through the sky. Damn it! Who was it? Who dared to stop him from killing? Did they not want to live anymore? He swore that no matter who it was, he would kill them. In the next moment, he saw it. A red-robed young man walked out again. Brat, it's you! He clearly saw that it was this brat who had cut through his 300 demonic claws. How dare you interfere with my business? Go to hell! The fourth demon was enraged. The demonic claws on his body stretched out again, turning into a black demonic mountain that pressed down on Lin Xian. It covered the sky and the earth, and the void instantly shattered. When this palm came out, the cultivators of the Tang family cheered. This was because they could feel that the fourth demon was really angry. This attack was much more powerful than the previous one. It seemed that the other party would not be able to block it. Chapter 23:19. The fourth demon was truly enraged. This attack was much more powerful than the previous ones. It seemed that the other party would not be able to block it. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly as he looked at the other party's monstrous claws. In the next moment, countless sword lights gathered on his body and formed a giant sword that slashed forward. Boom! As the sword slashed down, the void split open. Monstrous waves of air slapped in all directions like seawater. Soon, the black claws were cut apart. Crack! 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 The terrifying claws were instantly cut into pieces and turned into demonic chi that dissipated in all directions. Bang! Ah! The fourth demon also screamed and kept retreating. Damn it, what happened? Hearing the scream, the Tang family members hurriedly looked over. Then, they gasped in disbelief. They saw the fourth demon holding his arm with a ferocious expression. Blood flowed down his arm and dyed the ground red. A sword mark almost severed his opponent's arm. How was that possible? The fourth demon was injured again. At this moment, even the three demons on the black ship could not remain calm. He stopped smiling and his eyes shone with a cold light. This was because he did not expect the other party to be able to injure the fourth demon so severely. He had to admit that the other party's strength was definitely beyond his imagination. Ah! Damn brat, how dare you hurt me? I will definitely tear you into pieces. The fourth demon roared at the sky. His black hair danced wildly and turned into a river that danced in the air. The terrifying sound waves shattered the 9 heavens. Boom! Endless demonic chi flowed through his body and turned into a demon king. He was 10,000 meters tall and stood tall. Its body was pitch black as if a demon god had descended to the human world. Kill! With a roar, monstrous killing intent rolled out like a huge wave. This caused everyone's bodies to tremble. The martial artists and elders of the Tang family frantically retreated tens of thousands of miles away to watch the battle. This was because they did not dare to get too close. The aura in front was too terrifying. Humph! A mere fourth demon dares to fight against me? Lin Xian sneered disdainfully. He snorted coldly, and countless sword lights surrounded his back. The dragon sword territory instantly surged out. Then, it turned into a giant dragon and roared as it flew forward. Boom! Boom! An earth-shattering collision sound rang out as the huge Devil King was directly pierced through, its body splitting into 2 halves. Ah! The fourth devil let out a miserable shriek and was sent flying backward. His body was a bloody mess, and more than half of his armor had been shattered. Countless bones in his body were broken. What? Defeated! Upon seeing this, the people from the Tang family in the distance widened their eyes. They simply could not believe that the terrifying fourth demon had been defeated by a single sword strike. Wasn't this method a little too terrifying? You're just a piece of trash. How dare you attack me? Lin Xian snorted coldly and ignored him. Instead, he stared at the black ship in the distance. He pointed his sword at them. The 3 of you can come at me together. Hearing this, Ting Kun and the others' eyelids twitched violently. Not to mention him, even Zhao Jiruo, Xiao Linger, and the others were completely stunned. For a moment, the entire scene was incomparably silent. Damn it! Damn it! Off in the distance, the fourth devil flew back. That sword strike just now had sent him flying for 10,000 miles. His body was severely injured, and he was currently taking pills to recover. His body swayed, and he arrived nearby with a cold gaze. He glared at Lin Xian as if he were a demon, roaring incessantly. However, he did not make a move. This was because he did not dare to. That strike just now was too shocking, and it made him fearful. Humph! I'll kill you! On the black ship, the third devil snorted coldly. His body swayed, and he instantly disappeared. Then, he appeared in front of Lin Xian. Buzz! When the third devil appeared, the surrounding space quickly trembled, and countless cracks appeared. It could not withstand this terrifying power at all. Is the third devil going to make a move? Behind him, Teng Kun and the others exclaimed. They regained their hope. This was because the third devil was even more powerful than the fourth devil. With the third devil making a move, they would definitely be able to kill the other party. The people from the Teng family secretly watched from afar. In front of them, the third devil snorted coldly. His eyes were unusually cold, and they were like two divine spears that pierced through the void. As the third of the four devils of Jiuli, he was very powerful. He had not become a peerless mighty figure. However, his strength was no weaker than a peerless mighty figure. In fact, he could even contend against one. It could be said that he was extremely terrifying. Third brother. Seeing the third devil make a move, the fourth devil also shouted in a low voice. Fourth brother, go to the side and recover first. I'll kill him, the third devil said coldly. Then countless rays of light surged from his body. The purple light that filled the sky revolved and turned into a purple civet cat. It was extremely huge, like a purple mountain that covered the sky and the sun. Buzz! He carried countless purple lights and charged forward. This was the other party's king's domain. It was extremely terrifying. The third devil seemed to be really angry. He immediately displayed his powerful strength. Boom! The terrifying purple civet cat pounced over. Lin Xian also waved the ancient dragon abyss sword and slashed out. The terrifying ancient sword continued to grow in the air, forming a huge dragon that danced in the sky and crushed the purple civet cat in front of it. This was the chaotic heaven destroyer sword. Lin Xian was becoming more and more familiar with it. The power of a heaven-level sword technique coupled with the heaven-level ancient sword was extremely terrifying. Even a peerless mighty figure would have a headache if they saw it. Not to mention the third devil in front of him. Boom! Bang! The ancient dragon source sword was incomparably sharp. It descended from the sky and was extremely terrifying. It directly slashed at the purple civet cat. Boom! Boom! The two collided and burst out with dazzling light. An earth-shattering sound was heard, and the purple light that filled the sky broke apart. The civet cat screamed in pain and was sent flying. The third devil also kept retreating and broke through the void. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and his face was filled with shock. He was injured. He was actually injured. A young man in his 20s injured him with a single sword strike? He couldn't believe it at all. One had to know that he was the third devil. He was extremely terrifying, and his strength was comparable to a peerless mighty figure. Moreover, he was not careless when he attacked earlier. He immediately used his king's domain. It could be said that he was very powerful. Even so, he was still injured by a single sword strike. Damn it! How is this possible? The fourth devil's eyelids twitched. He couldn't believe it at all. His third brother was actually injured as well. On the black ship, the first devil and second devil also frowned. In the distance, the Ting family members were scared out of their wits. Is this kid still human? How can he be so powerful? Ah! Damn kid, I'm going to kill you! In front of him, the third devil roared crazily. His eyes were cold, and the killing intent on his body soared into the sky. Buzz! In the next moment, he waved his arm, and 9 purple gourds appeared in the sky. Each of them shone like stars and revolved above his head. Whoosh! 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 A terrifying black shadow rushed out from each gourd, and a powerful aura suppressed the surroundings. Chapter 23:20. Roar! Those black shadows were all extremely powerful yakshas. Their bodies were huge, like giants, and they were wearing black battle armor. They held black triangular halberds in their hands. Demonic aura surged from their bodies. Kill! With a furious roar, 9 terrifying yakshas charged forward together. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian also frowned because he could feel the terror of those yakshas, so he was not careless. The dragon sword realm surrounded him, and countless sword chi intertwined. Behind it, terrifying phantoms appeared one after another. True dragon, fire phoenix, qilin, black tortoise, white tiger, 9 powerful demonic beasts dashed in the sky. They were completely condensed from sword chi, but they had the power of the great dragon sword soul, so they were lifelike as if real divine beasts had revived. 9 huge divine beast phantoms appeared together in the sky, forming countless projections and roaring in all directions. Damn it, what kind of divine ability is this? The 4th demon saw it. His pupils constricted. The martial artists of the Ting family felt their scalps go numb. Even the great demon and the 2nd demon frowned, and their eyes emitted a cold light. Damn it! Destroy them! The 3rd demon was also extremely shocked, but now, he could not stop. He could only kill the other party with all his might. With a furious roar, endless power poured into the 9 yakshas, and the 9 yakshas burst out with a black light. Like 9 black suns, they charged forward. Boom! A shocking battle broke out in the sky. The 9 yakshas went straight for the 9 divine beasts. It was very tragic. However, not long after, the 9 yakshas wailed and were directly killed by the powerful divine beasts. Then, Lin Xian, Ten Kun, and the 9 powerful divine beast phantoms charged forward together. The 3rd demon's expression changed instantly, and his eyes were filled with deep shock. That was because the pressure from the 9 divine beasts was too terrifying. The pressure caused his muscles to hurt, and even his bones to creak. He wanted to escape, but in the next moment, he found that countless blue eyes had appeared in the surrounding space, and it instantly turned into a world of frost. It completely enveloped him. Not only that, but countless frost also appeared on his body, and in an instant, he was frozen into an ice sculpture. This is great! He was frozen! Linger, Jiroa, and the others exclaimed. On the other side, the people from the Ting family had ghastly looks on their faces. However, in the next moment, they also cried out in surprise. That was because the ice statue in front of them had suddenly exploded. The 3rd demon coldly shouted and countless rays of light shined from its body, breaking apart the terrifying ice. At the same time, beneath his feet, the terrifying purple civet cat appeared once again. The purple raccoon's body blossomed with flames. It held a purple shield in its hand and a purple spear in its right hand. His aura seemed to be able to pierce through the 9 heavens. Therefore, in the blink of an eye, the 3rd devil was able to resist the ice that filled the sky. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. The shadows of 9 divine beasts circled around him, and the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand continuously slashed down. The 9 divine beast phantoms roared towards the sky, shattering the void. Lin Xian also used his ultimate move. Reverse Chaos. A terrifying sword light flashed and exploded with a powerful force, causing the entire void to tremble. A pitch-black crack instantly flew out from the long sword and extended forward. Not only that, but the 9 divine beast phantoms around him also attacked crazily. Boom! The 3rd demon controlled his civet cat territory and quickly counterattacked. The purple shield continued to enlarge, like a heavenly gate, blocking in front of them. Whoosh! The purple civet cat waved the spear in its hand, and it pierced through the void like purple lightning. Boom! Boom! A terrifying energy explosion tore the void apart like a piece of cloth, and light shone in all directions. The purple spear pierced through the 9 divine beast phantoms, causing 3 of them to be directly pierced through. The other phantoms were also affected, and their light dimmed. However, the 9 divine beast phantoms and reverse chaos attacks were mixed in with the civet cat's body. Boom! Boom! The purple civet cat kept retreating, and countless cracks appeared on the purple shield in its hand. Boom! The purple shield shattered into countless pieces. The civet cat was also severely injured, and a crack appeared on its body. Sky shattering! Demon seal! Another 2 ultimate moves were used, and the purple civet cat kept retreating, and terrifying cracks appeared on its body again. In the end, it dissipated and merged into the 3rd demon's body. Ah! Pfft! The 3rd demon also screamed and spat out a large mouthful of blood. A few sword wounds appeared on his body as if he was struck by lightning, and he was sent flying. 3rd brother! Seeing this, the 4th demon screamed crazily. The members of the Teng family were completely stunned. They were like puppets, and their minds were blank. What happened? Even the 3rd demon was defeated? How was that possible? Was this brat already this strong? Could it be that his strength was truly that of a peerless almighty? When they thought of that, they gasped, and their bodies trembled uncontrollably. The 4th demon's face was ugly. He gritted his teeth, and his body flashed. He quickly caught the 3rd demon and fed him a pill. The 3rd demon stopped bleeding, but his face was abnormally pale, and his handsome face was extremely distorted. 3rd brother, let's attack together and kill him, the 4th demon said. The 3rd demon nodded after hearing that. He stood up, and his body was wrapped in purple flames, forming a purple armor. A purple spear appeared in his hand, and a purple shield with a civet cat pattern appeared in his left hand. Humph! The 4th demon snorted coldly, and a black longsword appeared in his hand. Countless resentful spirits surrounded him. Kill! Kill! 2 furious roars were heard as the 2 demons attacked again. Their attacks were like heavenly thunder, tearing the void apart. Boom! Boom! They tore apart the divine beast silhouettes in front of them, and quickly charged toward Lin Xian. Even if the 2 of you attack together, it won't be enough. Lin Xian let out a long roar, and his voice was like a thunderclap. Sword chi burst out from his body, and the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand slashed out quickly. He slashed out dozens of times in a row, and the terrifying sword chi emitted a dazzling light. It was like a shocking rainbow that cut through the void. The sword chi that filled the sky completely enveloped the 3rd demon and the 4th demon. Boom! Boom! The light dissipated, and the 3rd demon and the 4th demon were sent flying again while vomiting blood. The sound of bones breaking could be heard from their bodies, and they only stopped after flying for a few thousand miles. This shocking scene made everyone from the Ting family open their mouths in shock. Their faces were filled with horror. What kind of combat strength was that to be able to send the 3rd demon and the 4th demon flying at the same time? This kid was too terrifying. Zhao Jiruo also exclaimed, and Linger's beautiful eyes were wide open. Xiao Kuang's face was also filled with shock. Could it be that Brother Lin was already a supreme being? Boom! While they were shocked, the 1st demon and the 2nd demon on the black ship were even more shocked. Among them, the 1st demon's eyes emitted a terrifying light, and it was like 2 black death rays that pierced through the void. He looked toward Lin Xian. Chapter 23-21. 2nd demon stood up immediately. He was about 4 to 5 meters tall, and when he stood up, his murderous aura was overflowing, giving off a strong sense of oppression. They had no choice, as the 2 of them were too shocked. Although 3rd and 4th demon were not supreme mighty figures, they could definitely contend against supreme mighty figures when they joined forces. However, they were still sent flying by the other party. One could imagine that the other party had the combat power of a supreme mighty figure. They could not help but be shocked that a prodigy in his 20s had such combat power. It was no wonder that Tinkuan had summoned them. Kid, I'm here to take your life. Second demon's voice was very loud. However, Lin Xian shook his head. You can't do it, let your boss do it. He shifted his gaze away from second demon and looked at the great demon next to him. Hearing that, the great demon frowned, while second demon roared angrily. Kid, you're courting death. He could not tolerate the fact that Lin Xian dared to look down on him. Ka ka ka. Black armor quickly appeared on his body, and there were flames burning on it, making him look like a demon from hell. There was an indescribable majesty in his bell-like eyes. Whoosh! A giant axe appeared in his hand, and when he waved it, it easily shattered the void. I told you, you're no match for me. Get lost! Seeing that second demon was about to attack, Lin Xian frowned. He snorted coldly, and his voice was filled with boundless killing intent. Go to hell! Second demon was really angry. He took large strides in the air, and with each step he traversed 1,000 miles. Boom! In an instant he arrived above Lin Xian. Whoosh! He swung the axe in his hand as if he was cutting vegetables, trying to split Lin Xian apart. This was a kind of arrogance because previously, Lin Xian had already shown that he had the strength of a supreme mighty figure, but second demon still dared to descend from the sky. One could only imagine how much the two demons valued their own strength. Kid, go to hell! Second demon's eyes were cold, and there was a biting cold murderous intent. The axe in his hand let out a rumbling sound as it came crashing down like a mountain. Boom! Lin Xian brandished the ancient dragon abyss sword and clashed with the heaven-splitting axe. Instantly, the sound of metal clashing erupted. It was like a sudden clap of thunder that spread out in all directions. Raging waves appeared in the sky, and hundreds of thousands of cracks spread in all directions. At this moment, Murong Qingqing, the third demon, the fourth demon, and the warriors of the Ting family held their breaths and watched the battle carefully. This was because this was a battle that belonged to the true Almighties. Sounds of collisions rang out in the sky. Lin Xian took a few steps back, and the huge sky-splitting axe was also sent flying. With the two of them at the center, all kinds of light rushed into the sky, and terrifying symbols flickered in all directions. The two of them were evenly matched in this exchange. The third and fourth devils were completely shocked. The second demon's face sank. He had cultivated for thousands of years, yet he couldn't beat a 20-year-old youth. This was unbearable for him. Therefore, in the next moment, he let out a furious roar and swung the heaven-splitting axe in his hand. 9 axes and 18 strikes. The second devil unleashed a terrifying attack, and a heaven-shaking power blasted over. Lin Xian didn't resist at all. He stepped on the demigods and semi-devils and quickly dodged. Countless afterimages appeared in the sky, and he dodged the 18 terrifying attacks in an instant. Zhang Ge! The ancient sword swept out like a dragon swinging its tail, and it collided with the heaven-splitting axe. Clang! The second demon was repelled. Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he quickly charged toward the black ship. His real target was the great demon sitting there. What? He was going to attack the great demon? Seeing this scene, everyone sucked in a cold breath. Xiao Kuang and the others were shocked, and the third and fourth demon's pupils shrank. The second demon roared, Kid, you've gone too far! He was really angry. He didn't expect that he would be ignored by his opponent even after he displayed such a powerful strength. This was unbearable. Therefore, in the next moment, he let out a furious roar, and his eyes turned red. A sinister smile appeared on his face. No one has ever dared to ignore me. Kid, you've committed a heinous crime. I'll let you taste the taste of regret. After saying that, the tall figure swayed again. This time, he didn't chase after Lin Xian. Instead, he stared at Xiao Ling'er and the others. I'll let you watch your companions die one by one. I'll enjoy these beauties for you first. The second demon looked up to the sky and laughed. He stretched out a huge palm and grabbed in front of him. The palm was like the palm of an ancient god. It instantly covered a part of the sky and enveloped Murong Qingqing and Zhao Zhiru. Humph! Seeing this, the third and fourth demons sneered. Tinkuan and the others even laughed wildly. Ha ha ha, that kid is an idiot. Let's see how his companions die. They were too happy. They didn't expect that the other party would make such a stupid mistake. Oh no! Zhao Jiro, Linger, Xiaoquang, and the others' pupils shrank, and their faces became extremely ugly. Although they were also geniuses, they were nothing compared to a peerless almighty. Even if the three of them worked together, they wouldn't be able to withstand an attack from an almighty. The only thing they could do now was to dodge. However, the second demon's palm was like a cage of heaven and earth. It directly locked down the space they were in. It was very difficult to break out of the cage. Damn it, how dare you attack Linger? The Hong sect will never let you go. Xiao Kuang roared crazily. Indeed, Linger's identity was very special. If anything happened to her, the Hong sect would definitely go crazy. However, the second demon had already lost his mind. He didn't care about the Hong sect's revenge. What he wanted to do now was to kill the people in front of him to vent the hatred in his heart. Damn it! Seeing that the two demons were unmoved, Xiao Kuang roared angrily, and Zhao Jiro exclaimed. However, at that moment, Murong Qingqing snorted coldly, and a bright light burst out from her body. On the other side, the Crimson Dragon screamed. You dare to attack Ben Huang, big guy? You're courting death. I'll cut you into 18 pieces and cook you later. The Crimson Dragon was indeed angry. What was the meaning of this? Did they think that they were ants? What a joke! When did he, the dark red divine dragon, become an ant? Therefore, in the next moment, he snorted coldly, and his body swayed, and suddenly jumped up. Boom! He swung his dragon tail and directly hit the sky-splitting axe. A thunderous sound rang out, and a huge ball of energy shot up into the sky. At that moment, the wind and clouds within a radius of 10,000 miles were completely shrouded by a terrifying energy. It was impossible to see clearly. What? What happened? How could someone block the second demon's attack? The third demon and the fourth demon frowned. It shouldn't be. Other than that kid, how could anyone else block the attack? Chapter 23-22. The third and fourth demons furrowed their brows. That shouldn't be the case. Other than that kid, how could anyone else fight against him? Even Xiao Kuang didn't have the strength to do so. Xiao Kuang couldn't even defeat the fourth demon, let alone the second demon. However, they were soon stunned. That was because they saw a figure flying back from the sky. His huge body smashed through the void. Countless cracks appeared along the way. What's going on? Second elder brother was sent flying. How was that possible? Who was it? Who was it? Could it be that the powerhouse of the Hong sect was here? They were too shocked. Even the great demon frowned. His eyes were like two black magic lamps again, emitting a deathly light as if he wanted to see everything clearly. The cultivators of the Teng family were even more stunned. The scene at this moment was still beyond their imagination. Damn it, who was it? The second demon stopped in the sky. He wasn't injured, but his arm was numb. He couldn't even use his strength for the time being. The blood in his body was boiling. Fortunately, he suppressed it, or he would have spat out a mouthful of blood. His two bell-like eyes shone with a terrifying light. His eyes were filled with shock and surprise. The reason for that was because this scene had truly exceeded his expectations. Originally, he thought that it would be easy for him to kill these young people after the kid left. In fact, he could even kill them all with one blow. Who was it? He couldn't figure it out. However, he was certain that it was a peerless powerhouse. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to force him back. Of course, it's your Grandpa Dragon. Amidst the light that filled the sky, an arrogant voice rang out. For a moment, countless people looked over. The second demon waved his arm, and the huge sky-splitting axe split all the light in front of him. He wanted to see who it was. What? It's you! The second demon was stunned when he saw who it was. He wasn't the only one. Everyone was stunned. That was because they realized that the figure in front of them wasn't a powerhouse from the Hung sect, but a dragon. Of course, they didn't think that it was a dragon. That was because they didn't believe that real dragons existed in this world. However, they thought that it should be some kind of flood dragon. What made them even more shocked was that they had originally thought that it was just a pet of that kid. But who would have thought that he would be so powerful? The Crimson Dragon waved its claws and said coldly, "Big guy, how dare you hit your grandpa dragon? I'll kill you today!" Courting death. The second devil was truly furious. Being looked down upon by a 20-something-year-old brat had already made him very angry. Who would have thought that he would be despised by a snake? His lungs were about to explode from anger. Therefore, in the next moment, he roared and swung the heaven-splitting axe in his hand. "Oh my, you dare to fight with Benwang? It seems like you really don't know what's good for you." The Crimson Dragon sneered. Just as he was about to make a move, the person beside him was even faster than him. He turned into a bolt of lightning and dashed out. The one who attacked was naturally Murong Qingqing. To be honest, she was also furious. At this moment, her delicate little face was covered with ice. Before the Crimson Dragon could make a move, he had already made his move. With a wave of his jade-like hand, a 5-colored lotus flew out. Boom! 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 The lotus collided with the heaven-splitting axe, causing a huge explosion that shook the entire space. The heaven-splitting palace kept retreating, and the light on it dimmed. The second devil retreated again. Bang! 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 He stepped on the void and created more than 10 black holes before he stopped. Then, his bronze eyes shone with a crazy light. Damn it, this is impossible! He's crazy. He's really crazy. How could there be someone who could block his attack? I don't believe it! My eyes must be playing tricks on me. The third and fourth devils roared crazily. The people of the Tang family were also dumbfounded. What did they just see? A beautiful woman blocked the second devil's attack. Heavens, who is this person? First, that brat displayed the strength of a peerless almighty. Then, a dragon appeared. Now, a beautiful woman appeared. Could it be that there were 3 almighty powerhouses on the other side? They trembled at the thought of this. There were only 6 people on the other side, and 3 of them were peerless almighties. How dare they attack such a team? Weren't they courting death? Tunkuan and the others wanted to slap themselves when they thought of how arrogant they were, and how they looked down on the other side. We were wrong, we were all wrong. The elders of the Tang family were also terrified. These people are definitely terrifying. We shouldn't have provoked them. Damn it, who are you? The second devil roared crazily. To be honest, he was also crazy. In fact, some people even began to doubt themselves. How could a few young people on the other side be as strong as him? He even suspected that he was under an illusion. Humph! Murong Qingqing snorted coldly and did not answer. She said coquettishly, "Rosalong, leave this person to me." "All right." The Crimson Dragon shrugged. Then, he looked around and cracked the corners of his mouth. "Benwang will play with you too then." He stared at the third and fourth devils. Instantly, the third and fourth devils trembled, and a hint of fear appeared in their hearts. They wanted to ask for help, but they realized that no one could save them. The second devil was stopped by the beautiful woman, and the great devil was personally attacked by that brat. The people of the Tang family behind them were not strong enough at all. Damn it, how dare you look down on us? The third devil roared furiously while the fourth devil gritted his teeth. That's right, do you really think that you can fight against us just because you blocked second brother's attack? You're too naive. I'm guessing that you must have used a secret technique to forcefully increase your combat power. Just watch, we'll kill you in a while. The third and fourth devils soared into the sky and charged madly at the Crimson Dragon. Soon, a great battle broke out. The Crimson Dragon and Murong Qingqing exchanged blows with their opponents. On the other side, Lin Xian swayed and arrived in front of the Great Devil. The Great Devil was a middle-aged man. His face was as sharp as a knife, and his eyes were cold. He looked like the god of death without any emotions. At this moment, he was sitting on a black devil chair. Come, let me see what you're capable of. How dare you assassinate me? Lin Xian pointed his sword in front of him. The great devil's expression became even colder. Brat, I have to say that you've exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect you to have the combat power of a peerless almighty. You should have reached the level of a saint. However, you're too arrogant. Do you think that you can fight against me just like that? All right, it's been a long time since I've killed a saint. Today, I'll use you as a sacrifice. The great devil slowly stood up. Following his movements, a terrifying aura rose from his body. Behind him, a huge black waterfall rushed into the clouds, hanging above the 9 heavens. Chapter 23:23. Take out your strongest attack, otherwise, you won't have a chance. The great demon snorted and looked down. In his hand, countless black gas revolved and formed a death scythe. His eyes were abnormally cold, and his body carried a powerful aura as if a peerless demon king had descended to the human world. Whoosh! With a wave of his arm, the black scythe turned into a huge black moon and slashed forward. In an instant, it enveloped Lin Xian. Terrifying black gas filled the air, and killing intent pierced through the 9 heavens. This attack was terrifying to the extreme, and it was even more powerful than the second demon's attack. Obviously, the great demon was the most terrifying one. Boom! Lin Xian's ancient sword slashed horizontally and collided with the black scythe. After that attack, the two of them moved like lightning and quickly exchanged blows. This was a huge battle. Lin Xian was a young genius, and his combat strength was extremely strong. In addition to the Dragon Source ancient sword and the Great Dragon Sword Soul, his combat strength was shocking. On the other side, the Great Demon was even more powerful and had a fierce reputation in the 9 Underworlds dynasty. He could be said to be a peerless powerhouse. Now, the two powerhouses were fighting, and the sky was falling and the earth was cracking. In an instant, violent energy swept in all directions. Not good, retreat! Xiao Kuang, Zhao Jiruo, and the others quickly retreated. On the other side, the Ting family's cultivators also retreated frantically. They retreated 50,000 miles away. Clang! Another shocking attack. The collision of the two weapons was like a clap of thunder. Whoosh! At this moment, Lin Xian attacked again. He clenched his right fist, and black flames burned like a black sun as he directly punched at the great demon. Humph! The great demon snorted and raised his left palm to meet the black fist. A low voice sounded, and a terrifying light shot into the sky. This scene was too terrifying, as if two gods of war were fighting. Damn it, how was this possible? How could he defeat the great demon? Everyone was stunned, especially Ting Kuan and the others. One had to know that this was the great demon, the most powerful of the 4 Jiuli demons. He had lived for more than 2,000 years, and was extremely terrifying. Ordinary peerless powerhouses would immediately turn and run when they heard the name of the great demon, not daring to fight at all. One could imagine how terrifying a great demon was. But today, a youth in his 20s was actually able to fight a great demon to a draw. Not to mention the warriors of the Ting clan, the second devil, the third devil, and the fourth devil were all extremely shocked. Although they were fighting with their opponents, their focus had always been on the great devil. Now that they saw the two of them fighting to a draw, they felt as if they had been struck by lightning. Their minds went blank. Impossible, damn it! I don't believe it! How could this brat contend against Big Brother? The second devil howled in rage. However, while he was distracted, the flower petals suddenly surrounded him and slammed into his armor. It made a tinkling sound. The second devil staggered backward, coughing up mouthfuls of blood. Damn it! I'll fight you to the death. The second devil let out an enraged howl and ignored the devil. He held the sky-splitting axe with both hands and swung it at Murong Qingqing. Murong Qingqing, on the other hand, used the Jade Lake's great magical powers to fight against Murong Qingqing. On the other side, the 3 demons and 4 demons were screaming in agony. They were now surrounded by danger. Murong Qingqing's great magical powers were too terrifying, and the flames in the sky made them feel as if they were being barbecued. Moreover, they felt that Murong Qingqing was toying with them. Otherwise, they would have been killed long ago. Humph! In front of them, the great devil snorted coldly, his expression extremely cold. To be honest, he had never expected this to happen. He knew that Murong Qingqing was very strong, but he did not expect Murong Qingqing to be so strong that he could be compared to him. Kill! He knew that he could not wait any longer. He had to use all his strength to kill Murong Qingqing. Therefore, the great devil let out an enraged howl. His black hair danced wildly, and his eyes flashed like lightning. Boom! The demonic aura around him surged into the sky, shaking the surroundings. The terrifying power overturned the entire world. He became stronger again. What a terrifying aura! The people of the Tang clan retreated frantically. Xiao Kuang and the others also retreated like lightning. Damn it! Did the great devil not use all his strength earlier? They were all worried for Lin Xian. Buzz! In the skies, the great demon roared out in rage. He was like a peerless demon king. The black scythe in his hand became even more bizarre. It let out a sharp cry and slashed down from the sky like a demon. Whoosh! A huge black crack appeared and extended downwards for thousands of meters. And it was still getting bigger. If one was swallowed up by this black crack, perhaps even a peerless almighty would not be able to escape. Whoosh! On the other hand, Lin Xian's speed was extremely fast. He quickly dodged the great black crack, and with a sky-shattering strike, he viciously slammed onto the black sickle. Not only that, the ancient dragon abyss sword emitted a dazzling light, and the great dragon sword soul in his body began to revolve wildly. Lin Xian's terrifying combat strength soared, and he wanted to shatter his opponent's weapon. Clang! Clang! An earth-shattering sound rang out, rushing straight into the clouds, causing a terrifying wave of energy to rise up in the void. It was thousands of feet tall, and it swept out in all directions. In an instant, everything within a radius of tens of thousands of li had fallen into the enemy's hands. However, this black sickle was incomparably terrifying. It must be a precious weapon, so under such a powerful bombardment, it was only retreating bit by bit, its light dimming. However, it did not shatter. Damn it, destroy it! The great demon was also enraged. Endless demonic chi poured into the black sickle. Boom! The black chi exploded, turning into a circular light wave. In an instant, it rushed out in all directions. Death God summoning. The great demon held the black sickle in his hand and slashed horizontally. Between heaven and earth, countless chi of death surrounded the area, and an illusory image of a death god appeared out of thin air. However, it sent chills down one's spine. Tens of thousands of li away, the warriors of the Tang family, Xiao Kuang, and the others trembled. They felt as if their souls were about to be destroyed. Was this the power of the great demon? It was too powerful. As expected, when the death god summoning appeared, Murong Qingqing, the crimson dragon, and the others frowned. On the other side, the second demon, the third demon, and the fourth demon laughed sinisterly. Ha ha! Big Brother is finally serious. He has used his ultimate move. Just watch, that brat will definitely die. As they spoke, they retreated a few thousand li, increasing the distance between them. They looked into the distance. Murong Qingqing and the Crimson Dragon did not attack again. This was because they also felt the terror of this attack. Lin Xian was the closest, so he naturally felt it too. A strong sense of danger instantly enveloped him, as if his soul was about to be extinguished. Humph! Under my death god summoning, you will die in the 18 levels of hell. On the other side, the great demon let out a cold voice. The illusory image of the death god gradually became clearer. The strong sense of danger became even stronger. Many people even knelt on the ground, trembling, unable to resist. Chapter 23-24. That strong sense of threat grew even stronger. Many people knelt on the ground and trembled. They could not resist at all. Humph! The huge Grim Reaper stretched out its hands and was about to envelop Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted and a golden light appeared in his eyes. Soul ignition. Whoosh! It was a terrifying eye technique attack. A mysterious flame flew out of his right eye and enveloped the two Grim Reaper's hands. Whoosh! Whoosh! The two Grim Reaper's hands burned and the terrifying power of death disappeared instantly. Puff! At the same time, the great demon spat out a mouthful of blood and his face turned pale. Damn it! How is this possible? How can you break my Grim Reaper's summon? He was crazy. The Grim Reaper's summon was a terrifying soul attack that could summon the shadow of the Grim Reaper. It could instantly grab the enemy's soul. As long as the soul was destroyed, the warrior would be considered dead even if the physical body was not injured. It was a terrifying attack that was impossible to guard against. Even a peerless almighty could not resist it. However, he did not expect it to fail now. The divine ability that he was proud of, the Grim Reaper's summon, had been broken by his opponent. The second demon, third demon, and fourth demon were even more shocked. Their faces were full of disbelief. They originally thought that this move would be able to kill Lin Xian. However, things had greatly exceeded their expectations. However, while they were surprised, Lin Xian's eyes once again blossomed with even more mysterious flames. Whoosh! Whoosh! The flames spread along the arm of the Grim Reaper's shadow. Roar! In the next moment, a painful roar resounded between heaven and earth like an ancient Sanskrit chant. The Grim Reaper's shadow became distorted and crazy. Damn it! Seeing this, the great demon roared and waved his black scythe. Buzz! The Grim Reaper's scythe also appeared in his hand. He waved it forcefully and cut off the mysterious flames to ensure that he was not burned. However, after doing this, the great demon's face was very pale. Obviously, he was also affected by the impact. Moreover, his injuries were not light. Damn brat, I'll kill you! With a roar, he waved his scythe again. Floating light. The golden runes pulsed and Lin Xian's left eye once more emitted a mysterious light. Instantly, the great devil's body trembled and his eyes went blank. Demon ceiling. Reverse chaos. The two killer moves quickly shot forward. Pung pung pung. The great demon was sent flying. He spat out large mouthfuls of blood. His body knocked over a dozen mountain peaks, stirring up a large amount of dust. Big brother! In the distance, the third devil and the others screamed crazily. Tenkuin and the others felt their scalps go numb. What? Even the great demon was sent flying. Could it be that this brat was already invincible? Boom! Demonic she rose up as the great demon rose up from the ground and roared into the sky. He was like a demon king, looking extremely ferocious. A black armor appeared on his body, and in front of him was a shield formed by a ghost face. The ghost face shield was covered with cracks, but it was not broken. It seemed like the shield had saved the great demon. Whoosh! After taking a few steps, the great demon instantly flew back. His face was abnormally cold. Soul attack! Damn it! You're actually a soul expert. He was simply too shocked. Originally, he wanted to use a soul attack to kill the other party and achieve an unexpected effect. But he did not expect that the other party's soul was even stronger than his, and his attack was even stranger than his. However, do you think that a soul attack can do anything to me? The great demon quickly formed a seal with his palm. Death curse. A cold voice sounded. Then countless black runes appeared on his forehead. They were like demonic runes, forming a terrifying mark. As the demonic runes appeared, countless vengeful spirits appeared around him. The ferocious ghost faces roared and roared. They formed a mysterious defense that protected the great demon's forehead. Brat, I'll let you know the price of injuring me. After using the death curse, the great demon was no longer worried about being attacked by a soul attack. His body once again emitted a terrifying killing intent. The black scythe in his hand was mixed with endless demonic chi. It was like a black moon that directly pressed down. The black demonic chi covered the heavens, and the sky was filled with killing intent that pierced through all directions. Black lightning streaked across the sky. At this moment, the great demon was like a demon god, erupting with unparalleled power. Buzz! The floating light in Lin Xian's left eye was unleashed. On the other hand, the great demon stopped. A sinister look appeared in his eyes, but he quickly returned to normal. The only change was that the vengeful spirits around him were even more miserable. As if they had been struck by lightning, they screamed crazily. In fact, many of them directly dissipated. It was transferred. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian frowned. His body swayed, and he dodged the other party's attack. He realized that his floating light had lost its effect. To be precise, it did not disappear, but was transferred by the great demon. The other party used a very magical ability to transfer the soul attack to the surrounding vengeful spirits. This was also the reason why the surrounding vengeful spirits were screaming. In the distance, the Crimson Dragon also frowned when he saw this scene. The death curse was an ancient cultivation technique. It seemed that the great demon was not simple. He actually knew such a lost ancient technique. Brat, it's useless. I have thousands of vengeful spirits. You can't hurt me at all. The great demon was ferocious as he slashed down with the black scythe in his hand. Humph! Do you think that without the soul attack, I can't do anything to you? Lin Xian snorted coldly. A terrifying light burst out from his eyes. The dragon's sword realm instantly flew out, and 108,000 swords flew across the sky. The death god strike. The great demon roared as the death god's figure appeared behind him again. Then, the death god's sides slashed down together with his movements. Boom! Boom! This attack was too terrifying. Perhaps even an almighty would not be able to withstand it. Lin Xian also roared angrily. 9 mysterious runes appeared on the ancient dragon abyss sword, and one of them was instantly dissolved. Boom! At the same time, an earth-shattering aura surged out from the ancient dragon abyss sword. It was as if an almighty sword had awakened and swept through the 9 heavens. The terrifying sword light traversed tens of thousands of miles and instantly sent the 2 and 3 great demons flying. The Crimson Dragon and Murong Qingqing also quickly retreated. In the distance, the Tang family retreated tens of thousands of miles again. Boom! Crack! In front of them, countless sword chi swept across, and space instantly collapsed. Damn it, what's going on? This aura? The great demon was extremely shocked. Then, his pupils constricted. There was something wrong with that sword. Boom! Just as he reacted, the ancient dragon abyss sword instantly slashed down. The 1,000-meter-long giant sword slashed forward. In an instant, it collided with the death scythe. A powerful storm appeared between heaven and earth, and everything within a radius of 100,000 miles was enveloped. Boom! 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 Tens of thousands of mountains disappeared together. Forests collapsed, and cracks that were tens of thousands of meters long appeared on the ground. There were hundreds of them. It was extremely terrifying. Under this kind of energy storm, nothing could survive. Chapter 23-25. Ah! The great demon roared angrily. The armor on his body bloomed with light, and the ghost mask shield in front of him emitted a black demonic light. On the other side, beside Lin Xian, the dragon sword domain enveloped him, forming the shadow of a true dragon that coiled around him. Boom! 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 Continuous rumbling sounds could be heard as the violent energy between heaven and earth burst forth. In the end, the great demon's ghost mask finally couldn't withstand it anymore. It was already covered in cracks, but after receiving such a strong impact, it exploded with a bang. The energy immediately struck the great demon's body. Pooh! In an instant, the great demon's body caved in and he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Countless of his bones were broken. Damn it! Death storm! The great demon roared and waved his black scythe crazily to counterattack. Boom! Boom! On the other side, Lin Xian's body bloomed with light. He supported the dragon sword domain and isolated himself from all the impact. At the same time, the ancient sword in his hand descended crazily again. The 4 ultimate moves quickly surged out. The terrifying energy completely destroyed the area in front of him. Bang! 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 The death storm was instantly broken. The great demon's body was once again impacted and he kept retreating. More and more bones on his body were broken, and even cracks appeared on his armor. Some places directly collapsed. Damn it! Demon King Lock! Block it for me! The great demon spat out large mouthfuls of blood and roared crazily. Endless black energy formed a black demonic lock on his body, completely protecting his body. However, he was still sent flying tens of thousands of miles. How could this be? I don't believe it! After the great demon stopped, he kept vomiting blood and roaring crazily. A young man in his 20s had seriously injured him. How was this possible? In the next moment, he charged over crazily again. However, he was soon sent flying again. The armor on his body was shattered, and a sword mark appeared, cutting deep into his bones. He knew that he couldn't defeat the other party. The other party was powerful and had a terrifying treasure sword. If they continued fighting, he probably wouldn't be able to turn the tables. Thinking of this, his expression turned ugly, and he looked unwilling. However, there was nothing he could do. In the end, he roared angrily and waved his sleeve, enveloping Tinkuan and the others as he flew towards the black ship. The black sleeves were like dark clouds, covering a radius of 10,000 miles. In an instant, Tinkuan and the other cultivators were all sucked in. The great devil's body flickered as he arrived on the black ship. The second devil, the third devil, and the fourth devil also rapidly retreated, wanting to leave. You want to leave? Stay here! The crimson dragon sneered and swung its claws at the 3 demons and 4 demons. Murong Qingqing also used the flying flower slash. The petals that filled the sky condensed into a sharp blade light that slashed down from the sky. Bang bang clang! In an instant, the second devil, the third devil, and the fourth devil were all attacked. 2 devils were still fine. After all, they were peerless almighties and could still block them. However, 3 and 4 devils were not so lucky. Under the serious state of the crimson dragon, both of their bodies were penetrated, and their hearts were grabbed by the dragon claws. Bang bang! Not only that, but their bodies also exploded in the sky, turning into 2 clouds of blood mist. What? Killed! On the big black ship, Tinkuan and the others saw this as soon as they landed. They were extremely shocked and all of them trembled. 2 of the members of the 4 devils of Jiuli were killed at the same time. If this news spread, the entire Jiuli dynasty would be in an uproar. 3rd devil. 4th devil. Seeing this, the 2nd devil roared crazily as killing intent surged from his body. Damn it, I'm going to kill you all! I must kill you all! He was too angry. He did not expect his 3rd devil and 4th devil to be killed. If you want to take revenge, let's see if you have the ability to do so. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The ancient dragon abyss sword once again slashed out dozens of terrifying sword chi, slashing forward. Bang bang! The 2nd devil spat out blood and flew backward again. Even his sky-splitting axe had a crack. 2nd devil, come up quickly! Leave this place! The great devil shouted coldly. He also wanted to retaliate and avenge his 3rd devil and 4th devil, but he could not do it at all. His opponent's strength was far beyond his expectations. Big brother, activate the black demon ship and kill them! The 2nd devil shouted crazily as he retreated. Buzz! In fact, the great devil was already doing so. The black demon ship was also a cosmic artifact. It had surpassed the peak of the Earth stage and reached the level of a pseudo-heaven stage cosmic artifact. It could be said that it was extremely terrifying. Not only could the black demon ship fly, but it could also attack and defend. At this moment, the great devil activated the black demon ship. Boom! The black demon ship trembled slowly. A black light shone and a vortex formed on top of it. Black demon light, go to hell! The great devil activated it crazily. Suddenly, a black light was emitted from the black demon ship and rushed forward. This light was too terrifying. It could definitely kill a peerless almighty. Ha ha ha, go to hell! Seeing this, the second devil sneered. On the black demon ship, Tenkuin and the others revealed sinister smiles. No one could survive under the black demon light. Even a peerless almighty could not resist it. Although these people were powerful, they were definitely dead this time. Not good. On the other side, tens of thousands of miles away, Linger, Xiaoquang, and the others' eyelids twitched. Murong Qingqing also frowned. The Crimson Dragon also felt a sense of danger. It said, "Brat, quickly take out the black earth." Whoosh! Come in. Lin Xian did not hesitate and sent out the black earth. Then, he pulled Murong Qingqing and the others in. When Murong Qingqing and the others entered, the black demon light hit the black earth. Suddenly, a shocking explosion occurred. The terrifying black light swept in all directions. The area within 100,000 miles was plunged into chaos. The space shattered and the earth shook. The violent energy formed 900 black light pillars that pierced through the clouds. This scene was like the end of the world. The mountains and forests below, as well as the demonic beasts inside, were all destroyed in an instant. Nothing could survive. Even a few mighty beings who were passing by were reduced to ashes by this energy storm. It was too terrifying. On the black demon ship, Tenkuin, the Ting family's eldest young master, and the others swallowed their saliva when they saw this scene. A black light screen appeared on the black demon ship and enveloped them. Countless runes shone and formed a strong defense, blocking all the energy attacks. No matter what, they were finally able to kill them this time. The Ting family members heaved a sigh of relief. Humph! It was too easy for them to die like this. The second devil snorted. The other party had killed the third and fourth devils. He could not wait to cut the other party into pieces. He was indeed displeased by the fact that he had been killed with a single blow. Don't worry, he would not let the other party go so easily. The great devil said coldly. When we return, we will use all our power to investigate these people's families and sections. Anyone related to them will be killed. Leave no one alive! I want them to know the consequences of offending the four devils of Jiuli. Chapter 23-26. A cold voice sounded, causing Tenkuin and the other scalps to go numb. As expected of the peerless Demon King, his methods were indeed ruthless. However, they liked it very much. That was because the four Jiuli demons were powerhouses of their families. They also knew that they had to eliminate the roots. Being able to exterminate the families of their enemies was a very exciting thing for them. In fact, they had already begun to discuss intensely what kind of torture they should use to get rid of those families. Let's go. The great demon also turned the boat around and prepared to leave. However, at that moment, a sneer came from behind. Why? You want to leave already? Did I say you could leave? What? Hearing that, everyone's bodies trembled. Tenkuin and the others were stunned. The second demon was also shocked, and the great demon felt as if he had been struck by lightning. He suddenly turned around, and his eyes were like black heavenly blades that cut through the void. Damn it, who is it? Get out here! His voice was filled with endless murderous intent, and his gaze swept across the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Humph! Do you think that a mere death ray can kill us? The disdainful voice sounded again. On the other hand, the great demon's expression turned completely gloomy. Damn brat, you're not dead? What? How is that possible? The second demon screamed, and his copper-like eyes were filled with shock. Teng Hui and the others almost fainted from shock. What kind of joke is this? Once the black demon light is released, even a peerless mighty figure can't resist it. Only an invincible king would be able to resist it. However, The other party was actually safe and sound. How is that possible? They could not believe it at all. In fact, they even suspected that the other party's vengeful spirit had come to take their lives. Boom! A long black saber appeared in the sky and quickly slashed down, cutting through the violent energy in front of it. The great demon snorted coldly. He wanted to see if the other party was a human or a ghost. However, he was soon stunned. He was not the only one. The second demon, Tenkuin, and the others behind all widened their eyes in disbelief. That was because there was also a black spirit boat floating in front of them. It was abnormally simple and mysterious. What's that? A spirit boat? How could it block the death ray? Everyone was puzzled. The great demon frowned. Could it be that the other party's spirit boat was also a substandard extreme heaven treasure? One had to know that his black demon ship was a lesser heavenly artifact. Only artifacts of the same level could withstand his black demon ship's attack. Damn it, snatch it! At this moment, the great demon's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Heaven-ranked treasure aura, that was an incomparable treasure. It was even more precious than a top-grade Earth-step artifact. If he could get his hands on it, his strength would increase exponentially. This way, even if Old Third and Old Fourth died, it would not be a loss. Thinking of this, he snorted coldly and once again controlled the black demon ship to attack rapidly. 1. The huge black demon ship bloomed with runes that filled the sky. In front of it, a black vortex formed. Then, a black beam of light blasted forward. The void shattered in an instant, and a terrifying energy enveloped the black earth. Boom! Boom! The black earth was struck and was sent flying once again. A great tremor had occurred within the ship. Linger and the others lost their balance and almost fell. Lin Xian's expression darkened. F***CK. This guy is still full of energy. Kid, hurry up and counterattack. The Crimson Dragon waved its claws. Show him what you're made of. It was too angry. The other party actually dared to attack again and again. He was really reckless. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and a light flickered in his eyes. He also prepared to attack. Because the energy required to activate the Black Earth was too large, he would not use it unless he had no other choice. If he could snatch the other party's black ship, then he could use it to fly. This way, it would be much more convenient. Therefore, he prepared to attack. In the next moment, Lin Xian waved his sleeve, and 3 divine crystals entered the formation in front of him. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian's face showed a hint of pain. In the surroundings, Zhao Jiruo, Xiao Kuang, and the others were extremely shocked. Heavens, what is he doing? Using divine crystals as energy. This is too crazy. Murong Qingqing was fine, as he had seen the power of the Black Earth before. However, Xiao Kuang, Zhao Jiruo, and the others were extremely shocked. Even the largest family would not dare to use such a luxurious method. However, they soon understood why they had to use 3 divine crystals. Because the power of the Black Earth Tycoon was too terrifying. In front of them, after the Black Demon ship's attack, the Great Demon and the others on the ship focused again. However, they did not have any joy. On the contrary, their expressions became more and more unsightly. Because they realized that although the other party's spirit ship was sent flying, it did not shatter. In fact, there was not even a trace of a crack. Damn it, how was this possible? The Great Demon's face was full of disbelief. Even if it was a heaven-grade artifact, after being bombarded by an artifact of the same grade, it would still shatter. He did not believe it and gritted his teeth, preparing to attack again. Because he was determined to obtain the other party's spirit ship. However, before he could move, the black spirit ship in front of him suddenly released a black light. Then, it also released a black light wave. Boom! The world shook, and the Great Demon and the others' expressions changed. Because in an instant, they were enveloped by the black light. Ah! Tenkuin and the others screamed crazily in fear. The Great Demon's expression also changed. Oh no! He controlled the Black Demon ship and wanted to escape quickly. However, the other party's black light was too fast. In an instant, it shocked them. Crack, crack, crack. The defensive light curtain around the black demon ship shattered in an instant. The terrifying black energy instantly pressed down. Damn it! Seeing this, the great demon roared angrily, and battle armor appeared on his body. The two demons also defended. The two of them were peerless mighty figures, so they could still resist for the time being. Moreover, what they suffered was the aftermath of the energy. However, Tinkuin and the other martial artists of the Tang family were not so lucky. Although it was only the aftermath, it was not something they could resist. In an instant, hundreds of martial artists of the Tang family were affected by this energy, and exploded into a bloody mist that filled the air. No! The remaining people screamed miserably. They were extremely terrified. Even Tinkuin and the eldest young master of the Tang family vomited large mouthfuls of blood. It was unknown how many of their bones were broken. Finally, the black energy light rushed into the distance, and the terrifying energy aftermath disappeared. Only then did the remaining people heave a sigh of relief. However, they were still lying on the ground with pale faces. The great demon and the second demon had cold expressions as they gritted their teeth. Damn it! Although they were angry, they did not dare to attack. There was even deep fear in their eyes. This was because the previous beam of light had missed the black demon ship. Otherwise, the black demon ship would have been shattered into pieces by now. Damn it! What exactly is the other party's spirit ship? How can it be so powerful? Chapter 23-27. Damn it! What was the other party's spirit ship? How could it be so powerful? Could it be a heaven-grade treasure? The two demons roared crazily, their faces full of malevolence. They were too shocked. The other party's attack had destroyed their defense. This was beyond their expectations. One had to know that this was the black demon ship. A heaven-grade treasure. Run, run! The great demon no longer dared to have any ideas about the other party. They had to escape quickly because the other party was too evil. Boom! Boom! The great demon controlled the black demon ship and formed a light screen again. At the same time, he turned the ship around and quickly fled into the distance. Although the black demon ship was huge, it was extremely fast. In an instant, it turned into a bolt of lightning and disappeared. Damn it! He escaped. Kid, hurry up and chase after him. Don't let him escape. Inside the black earth, the Crimson Dragon roared anxiously. Lin Xian said, Don't worry, he can't escape. As he spoke, he shot out another 2 divine crystals, which sank into the formation in front of him. Black Earth, it's up to you. Lin Xian didn't control the spirit ship directly. Instead, he handed it to Black Earth because no one knew the spirit ship better than Black Earth. Don't worry, leave it to me. Black Earth was still in the form of a broken sword. He floated forward and kept waving it. Buzz! The next moment, Black Earth emitted light, tore the void in front of him, and disappeared. In the sky, a black light moved forward quickly like a bolt of black lightning. It was the black demon ship. At this moment, everyone on the black demon ship heaved a sigh of relief. They knew that they were out of danger. This feeling of surviving a calamity was simply too wonderful. Phew! Even the great demon heaved a sigh of relief. Because he also felt a trace of lingering fear. However, not long after, his body stiffened, and his pupils suddenly shrank to the size of needles. Buzz! The black demon ship also stopped instantly. What's going on? The powerful thrust caused their bodies to sway, and many weaker martial artists were directly thrown out. The second demon also stood up. Big brother, what's wrong? The great demon didn't say anything, but his expression was extremely solemn as he stared ahead. Everyone was puzzled as they looked ahead. The next moment, they screamed. What? This was impossible. Damn it, I don't believe it. These people screamed crazily because there was a black spirit boat floating in front of them. It was completely black and looked very simple. It was the one that had attacked them before. However, they had already shaken him off. Why would he appear now? Furthermore, what shocked them even more was that the other party was not chasing after them. Instead, he had directly appeared in front of them and blocked their path. Gulp! Gulp! At this moment, everyone swallowed their saliva. Tengkuen and the Teng family's eldest young master, who were still alive, were terrified. The second devil's expression was ugly as well. The great devil didn't say anything. He waved his arm and turned the ship around, fleeing in another direction. Boom! Boom! However, before they could run far, the black demon ship suddenly shook violently. A violent force swallowed them up like a wave. The defense was shattered, and the ship shook. Everyone vomited blood. The weaker ones were directly crushed into a bloody mist, while the stronger ones were blasted out of the sky. It was impossible for the black demon ship to escape now. This was because a huge hole had appeared in the hull of his ship, directly damaging the black demon ship. Boom boom! 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 The black demon ship quickly descended like a mountain crashing onto a large ship. Countless cracks spread out in all directions. As for those on the black demon ship, they vomited blood again. How could this be? Everyone's faces were ashen. The great devil gritted his teeth in disbelief. This black demon ship was a heaven-grade treasure. It was extremely terrifying. Even a peerless almighty couldn't break it. How could the other party break it with a single strike? What grade had the other party's spirit boat reached? He didn't dare to imagine. At this moment, he couldn't care less. He turned around and fled. He turned into a bolt of lightning and instantly rushed into the clouds. Boom! However, it was useless. In the next moment, he fell from the sky and crashed into the ground, creating a deep pit. Above him, the black earth bloomed with light, forming a black light screen that enveloped everyone like a bowl. Buzz! Crack! The cabin door of the black earth opened. Lin Xian, the Crimson Dragon, and Murong Qingqing walked out. Linger and the others didn't come out. They were still watching from inside. Seeing Lin Xian and the other two come out, Tengkuen and the others trembled with fear. Humph! Lin Xian stretched out his palm and sucked hard. Whoosh! Whoosh! Tengkuen and the Teng family's eldest young master were sucked over. The two of them were grabbed by two large green palms and kept struggling. Let me go! Please let me go! Tengkuen and the Teng family's eldest young master begged. Let you go? Lin Xian sneered. When you attacked me previously, did you think of letting me go? You even called the 4 demons of Jiuli over. It's obvious that you want to kill us. How can I let you go? Don't worry, I'll give you a big gift. What are you doing? Let me tell you, the Teng family has an invincible king. If you dare to touch us, you're dead. Seeing that begging didn't work, the two of them roared ferociously again. Buzz! However, Lin Xian didn't waste time talking nonsense with them. Golden light enveloped his left eye and the floating light god art instantly hit the two of them. I've created an illusory space. In this illusory space, I'm the ruler. 1 second outside was equivalent to 1 year inside. Inside, you'll receive all kinds of torture. After 1 day and 1 night, you'll die. After speaking, Lin Xian waved his hand and threw the two of them to the side. The two of them trembled and their eyes were empty. It was obvious that their souls had entered the illusory space created by Lin Xian. They had to pay the price for their actions. This was their fate. Hearing Lin Xian's words, the remaining Teng family's cultivators in the distance trembled. 1 second outside was equivalent to 1 year inside, and they had to endure 1 day and 1 night. Wouldn't this add up to a few hundred years? They couldn't die even if they wanted to. This was the most unbearable thing. Let us go. Please let us go. At least give us a quick death. Some people knelt and begged for mercy. However, there were also a few people who roared crazily. Damn it, kill! We'll self-detonate. Even if we die, we'll take them with us. Whoosh! However, it was useless. The Crimson Dragon spat out dragon flames that filled the sky and instantly burned these people to ashes. I'll leave the two demons to you. I'll deal with the great demon. Lin Xian's figure flashed. He pulled out the ancient dragon abyss sword and walked forward again. Little girl Murong, leave it to me. Benwang hasn't fought in a long time, the Crimson Dragon said. Hearing this, Murong Qingqing nodded. All right. She didn't make a move. The Crimson Dragon swung its tail and attacked the two demons. On the other side, Lin Xian faced the great demon again. Chapter 23-28. The great demon roared angrily. His eyes were unusually cold. He knew that he couldn't escape. He had to fight with all his might and kill the detestable kid in front of him. Only then could he escape. Boom! Therefore, in the next moment, his demonic aura surged into the sky as he unleashed his combat strength to the extreme. This was a battle of life and death. He definitely wouldn't hold back. Death Strike. The great demon first used the death curse to prevent his opponent's soul attack. Then, he unleashed a powerful death strike. The terrifying scythe slashed out like a river that roared into the 9 heavens. Boom! 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 Lin Xian also used the chaotic Sky Destroyer sword to fight with him. The two of them fought until the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. In the end, Lin Xian even used the terrifying divine ability of the great dragon sword soul. The sky was filled with attacks, terrifying divine beasts, and various divine abilities. The great demon was forced to retreat. The great demon was too shocked. He didn't expect his opponent to be so powerful. He had even started to burn his spiritual power. However, he was still suppressed by his opponent. This was unbearable. Damn kid, I'll kill you at all costs. The great demon retreated rapidly. He waved his hand and stabbed the scythe into the ground. Then, his hands quickly formed seals. Heavenly Demon Descent. With a roar, the demonic aura on his body burned fiercely. Even the blood in his body began to burn. A black vortex appeared above his head. A blurry shadow instantly descended. The shadow was like a demon god. It brought with it a powerful pressure that crushed all directions. The moment it appeared, it shattered the 9 heavens. Buzz! The terrifying shadow entered the great demon's body. The great demon roared ferociously. The armor on his body instantly shattered. His terrifying muscles bulged and his black hair danced wildly. He was extremely ferocious. Ah! He roared crazily as if he had gone mad. The demonic aura on his body turned into monstrous waves that swept in all directions. Boom! Boom! In an instant, the surrounding space was completely shattered. The ground also cracked. At this moment, his power skyrocketed again. Previously, he was an early stage 8-star. Now, it seemed that he had reached the peak of that stage. Kid, how can you defeat me? You don't have the right. I've cultivated for almost 2,000 years. I can't defeat you. Go to hell. The great demon roared crazily. The demonic chi on his body burned fiercely. The black scythe in his hand slashed down crazily. A pair of black wings even appeared on his back, causing his speed to become even faster than before. In the blink of an eye, the great demon unleashed over 100 attacks. 1. Lin Xian's dragon sword domain transformed into an azure dragon cauldron, protecting him. As for him, he brandished the dragon source ancient sword and clashed with it. Intense sounds rang out in the sky. However, the great demon used all of his strength and didn't hesitate to burn his life force, so his combat strength increased greatly. This caused Lin Xian to continuously retreat. Pun! It was yet another shocking strike. Lin Xian was pushed back by 3,000 li, smashing through a lot of the void. There was even a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. Seeing this, the great demon laughed even more wildly. Ha 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 ha, kid, you are no match for me! Now go to hell! He shouted crazily, and the demonic energy on his body burned fiercely. It was very eye-catching. In an instant, the great demon was like a demon king, holding a black scythe and charging over. The entire sky was trembling. At this moment, the great demon seemed to have become the only thing in the world. This attack was so terrifying that even Murong Qingqing, who was watching the battle from afar, changed his expression. The second demon also laughed loudly. Do you see that? This is my big brother's true strength. Oh no! Lin Xian quickly dodged and raised his sword. The sword energy in front of him intertwined to form a light screen, blocking the attack. However, this attack was too terrifying. It was the great demon's full-strength attack. Moreover, behind the great demon, a ferocious demon with mysterious power appeared. Therefore, in an instant, Lin Xian's sword light screen was shattered. The terrifying black energy blasted his body. The azure dragon cauldron let out an earth-shattering sound. Boom! 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 Lin Xian kept retreating. Cracks appeared on the azure dragon cauldron, and some parts were directly split open. Lin Xian's qi and blood churned, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. When the great demon saw this scene, he shouted crazily. Kid, do you see that? This is my true strength. The great demon sneered. After being possessed by the heavenly demon, his combat strength had greatly increased, far surpassing before. Moreover, he was burning his life force and demonic energy. It made his fighting strength become abnormally violent. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. The sword energy around his body gathered again, forming a green pagoda that protected him. At the same time, his body retreated rapidly, leaving countless afterimages in the sky. You want to leave? Not so fast. The great demon waved his hand, and the entire sky turned pitch black. His king's domain instantly enveloped a radius of 100,000 miles. Today is the day you die. The great demon's voice was cold, and his killing intent became even more intense, causing the entire world to tremble. It was as if he had transformed into a heavenly demon. Damn it! Seeing this scene, Murong Qingqing cried out and was about to attack. On the other side, the Crimson Dragon also started to worry. He didn't expect the great demon to be able to use the power of a heavenly demon. On the Black Earth, Xiaoquan and the others were even more worried. However, they couldn't help at all. Linga looked at the short sword in front of her and begged. Black Earth, hurry up and activate the spirit boat. Kill the great demon king and save Big Brother Lin. However, Black Earth shook his sword. He has his own mission, and I can't do it. Black Earth also turned around and looked into the distance, at the same time thinking. As the successor of the dragon's sword, you have to go through these trials and battles. The path of a great emperor isn't easy to walk. Boom! The demonic energy in front of him became even more terrifying. The black scythe once again pierced through the green pagoda and enveloped Lin Xian, wanting to cut him in half. Lin Xian's muscles instantly tightened, and he felt that the qi and blood in his body were about to freeze. Humph! In the next moment, a sharp light appeared in his eyes, and the first seal of the dragon source ancient sword was quickly undone. At the same time, the great dragon sword soul in his body roared crazily. Lin Xian also launched a shocking attack. This sword was too terrifying, as if it resonated with heaven and earth. Endless dragon roars and sword cries rang out. Boom! This sword slammed into the black scythe, causing a shocking explosion and stopping the black scythe's advance. He blocked it. Seeing this scene, Murong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief and stopped advancing. She retreated to the side and continued to watch. What? How is this possible? The great demon was also stunned. How is it possible that the opponent can also increase his battle strength? Could it be that the opponent has some other secret technique? Thinking of this, his face turned gloomy. Damn brat, die! Chapter 23-29. He roared angrily, wanting to force the other party back. The heavenly demon phantom appeared on his body again, and a terrifying power was crazily focused on the black scythe. At this moment, a terrifying demonic aura surged into the sky within a radius of 100,000 miles, turning into rolling power that drilled into the great demon's body. Boom! The ancient dragon abyss sword was forced back again, and Lin Xian also kept retreating, causing the ground to crack. I have the heavenly demon augmentation and am invincible among my peers. What do you have to fight me? The great demon roared angrily. Invincible among your peers? You think too highly of yourself. In the vast continent, there are billions of living beings. What right do you have to say that you are invincible among your peers? Today, I will let you know what it means by there is always someone better than you. Buzz. In Lin Xian's body, the great dragon sword's soul kept roaring. The sword aura on his body became even more terrifying. You still want to fight back? You have no chance. Go to hell. Heavenly demon overturn region. The great demon roared crazily and struck out his most powerful attack. Rumble. Between heaven and earth, demonic aura permeated, and even black lightning descended. This attack was too terrifying, as if it could destroy the entire world. Great dragon kill! Lin Xian also roared angrily. Like a sword god descending, the great dragon sword soul in his body surged and attached to the ancient dragon abyss sword. Boom! Like a dragon attacking, it roared into the 9 heavens. A shocking collision occurred, and dozens of cracks that were tens of thousands of meters long appeared between heaven and earth. It was like a black dragon dancing in the sky. It was extremely terrifying. This attack was too shocking, and it even spread for hundreds of thousands of miles. What happened? This battle finally attracted the attention of the cultivators in the nearby cities. For a moment, the cultivators in several cities raised their heads and looked into the distance. Then, they were extremely shocked. Because hundreds of thousands of miles away, there was a huge black crack in the sky that was constantly being torn apart. It was as if the entire sky had been split into two. Endless black lightning struck down crazily. What was going on? Could it be that someone was transcending a tribulation? Or was there a shocking super battle? These cultivators were shocked because this scene was too terrifying. Even the peerless powerhouses in the city rose into the sky. Their eyes were like divine lamps, looking into the distance. But it was too far, hundreds of thousands of miles away, they couldn't see it clearly. Moreover, the storm was also very strong. Go over to take a look. How many peerless almighties were flying forward? Because they were really too curious. Just what kind of battle could cause such a terrifying scene? The collision of the ancient sword and the black sickle was like the collision of 10,000 lightning bolts. In the next moment, cracking sounds could be heard in the sky. More and more cracks appeared on the black scythe. Boom! Then, the black sickle shattered into countless pieces and scattered all over the ground. Pun! The ancient sword descended once more and stabbed into the great demon's body. Boom! The great demon's body instantly split open. Blood spurted out, dyeing the void red. Big brother! When the second devil saw this, he howled in rage. His face was filled with horror because he couldn't believe that his brother was still injured after using the heavenly demon possession spell. Moreover, he was so severely injured that he was almost split in half. Boom! The great demonic Tao cultivator was sent flying, causing the ground to crack. Ah! In the next moment, he let out a crazy roar. The demonic chi on his body surged wildly, trying to heal his wounds. However, this sword strike contained the terrifying power of the great dragon sword soul. It was impossible to heal it in a short period of time. A terrifying amount of blood gushed out from the wound. Shock, anger, and fear. The great demon couldn't believe that Lin Fan could shatter his weapon. That black scythe was an extremely frightening treasure. But now, it had been shattered. What was even more despicable was that the sword strike had almost split him in half. Damn it! The great demon roared crazily. He once again used all the power in his body. The heavenly demon phantom became even more solid. However, he didn't fight Lin Xian to the death. Instead, he turned around and fled. He couldn't win and didn't want to fight anymore. He only wanted to escape. However, Lin Xian didn't give him a chance. He held the ancient dragon sword with both hands and the great dragon sword soul spread out, forming a true dragon that wrapped around Lin Xian. Then, Lin Xian merged with the sword and turned into a dragon's shadow that rushed over. Buzz! Pun! The sword pierced through his heart. The great demon stopped in midair. He lowered his head, his face full of shock. No! Can! A transparent bloody hole appeared on his body. His internal organs were completely destroyed. He had received a fatal injury. Not only that, but his soul also seemed to have been split open. Boom! In the next moment, his body fell and smashed the ground. In the dust that filled the sky, a heavenly demon phantom entered the black hole and disappeared. Dead? The incomparably terrifying great demon was actually killed. This scene caused everyone to be shocked. Xiao Kuang and the others were shocked. They couldn't believe it. The second demon opened his eyes wide. That was his big brother, who was countless times stronger than him. However, he was actually killed. This made his body tremble. He also wanted to escape, but in the end, he was also killed by the Crimson Dragon. From then on, the 4 demons of Jiuli were all destroyed. The cultivators from the Ting family were all killed. After putting away the great demon and the second demon's storage rings, Lin Xian waved his sleeve and put away the black demon ship. Then, he entered the Black Tycoon. Let's go. Lin Xian waved his hand and drove the black earth, turning into a stream of light and disappearing. Not long after Lin Xian left, a few rays of light flew over from afar. They were the peerless powerhouses of the nearby cities. The phenomenon of heaven and earth from before aroused their curiosity. Therefore, they came over to investigate. However, when they arrived, it was as if they were struck by lightning. Because the area within a radius of 100,000 miles was destroyed beyond recognition. The ground seemed to have been flipped open, and countless cracks spread out. In the sky, there was still a terrifying killing intent left. The surrounding sea of blood surged, but it still refused to dissipate. Needless to say, the one who died must be a peerless powerhouse. Because only the blood of such a powerhouse would have such terrifying energy. Even if he died, it wouldn't dissipate. This is the second demon, an old man exclaimed. This was the second demon of the 4 demons of Jiuli. He was actually killed. Heavens! Who the hell did this? These peerless powerhouses were extremely shocked. The second demon of the 4 demons of Jiuli was extremely terrifying. He was a peerless powerhouse and had a fierce reputation. These people did not dare to provoke him. But now, he was actually killed here. How could the other 3 demons endure it? Especially the great demon, he was even more terrifying. When they thought of that great demon, their scalps went numb. However, soon, they screamed because they also discovered the great demon's corpse. What? The great demon was also killed. Seeing the great demon's pierced body, the peerless powerhouses in the sky trembled. Who was it that could kill the great demon? Did an invincible king make a move? They swallowed their saliva. From the looks of it, the 3 demons and 4 demons were most likely dead. Who was it? To be able to kill the 4 demons of Jiuli. High energy ahead, 3rd of next month, explosive update. Note, it's explosive update. Please look forward to it. Chapter 2330. They didn't know, but they didn't dare to stay any longer. They looked around in surprise, fearing that the mysterious expert was still hiding in the surroundings. In fact, a few of them even ran away. Although they were also peerless powerhouses, they were still inferior to the great demon and the second demon. However, even a terrifying demon king like the great demon was killed. If that person attacked them, they had no chance of survival. Although they had escaped, the news had spread out. For a moment, the entire Jiuli dynasty was shocked. Because the 4 demons of Jiuli were notorious in the Jiuli dynasty, and no one dared to provoke them. However, these 4 terrifying people were actually slaughtered. This was truly a shocking piece of news. For a moment, everyone was talking about who did it. Qianshan Domain, Qianshan City. When the cultivators in the city heard the news, they were also in an uproar. The 4 demons of Jiuli, such powerful demon kings, were killed. Who did it? The 4 demons were from the Ting family. The young master of the Ting family had a conflict with the mysterious young man. Do you think it was that kid who did it? What? Are you talking about that heaven-defying kid? Many people exclaimed. They thought of Lin Xian. However, some seniors shook their heads. Impossible. Although that kid is powerful, it's impossible for him to kill the 4 demons. He doesn't have that ability. Such a terrifying devil king had existed for thousands of years. His strength was extremely terrifying, unless an unrivaled king took action. Unless they're invincible experts, no one can kill them. Perhaps it wasn't that kid who did it. However, it was the expert behind that kid who did it. That guy is so strong, it's impossible for him to be unknown. It's possible. Everyone was discussing. The city lord's mansion was silent when they heard the news. Because young Master Qian Shan was killed, they were furious and wanted to gather experts to catch the murderer. But now, when they heard the news, they hesitated. Because according to their guess, the 4 demons of Jiuli were probably sent by Tinkuan and the others to kill that kid. But now they were killed. Needless to say, there must be a terrifying expert behind that kid. That kind of person could even kill the 4 demons, let alone them. Therefore, these powerhouses of the city lord's mansion had faces full of terror. They did not dare to search for the culprit at all. On the other hand, the Tang family was unusually furious. To be honest, the Tang family was bewildered when they first received the news. What the hell? The 4 devils of Jiuli were destroyed. What a joke! Those were the 4 devils of Jiuli. More importantly, when had they ever sent out the 4 demons of Jiuli? Therefore, at first, they thought it was a rumor that someone was trying to suppress the Tang family. However, they found out later that the entire dynasty was talking about it. This made them feel that something was wrong. The members of the Ting family tried to contact the 4 devils of Jiuli, but there was no response from them. It was as if the other party had disappeared. One had to know that even if they couldn't contact him, the entire country was talking about it. Given the personalities of the 4 demons of Jiuli, they would definitely jump out at the first opportunity to dispel this rumor. However, after such a long time had passed, the 4 Jiuli demons still hadn't come out. This gave them a bad feeling. What's going on? The Tang family's patriarch finally could not sit still anymore, so he began to ask. Soon, they found out that the 4 devils of Jiuli had been transferred away. Not only that, but many powerhouses and elders of the Tang family had also been transferred away. What? Tinkuan and the others were transferred away? Damn it, what did these guys do? When the patriarch and elders of the Tang family heard the news, their faces immediately darkened. The 4 devils of Jiuli had been transferred away. Could the rumor be true? They hurriedly ran to Qianshan City to ask and collect all kinds of evidence. In the end, they concluded that perhaps the 4 devils of Jiuli had really been destroyed. It was not just the 4 devils of Jiuli. Tinkuan and the other 2, as well as the elite powerhouses and elders of the Tang family, were all killed. None of them returned. This news caused a huge earthquake in the Tang family. What kind of joke was this? The Tang family had never suffered such a blow for thousands of years. Who exactly dared to go against the Tang family? Soon, they received news from Qianshan City that it was a mysterious young man. Their images had been captured by the Tang family and were placed in the hall at this moment. These images were of Lin Xian and the others. The entire hall was filled with the patriarch of the Tang family, as well as many elders and elite martial artists. It was densely packed with people. A few of his subordinates quickly reported to him. What they were talking about was naturally what had happened in the Moonflower Palace. What did you say? Not only did this brat kill the 3rd young master in public, he even killed young Master Qianshan? When they heard this, everyone immediately screamed. They couldn't believe it. Who was it that dared to do such a big thing in Qianshan City? Moreover, it was in the Moonflower Palace. Damn it, didn't the people of the Moonflower Palace make a move? An elder roared. This was because they knew the rules of the Moonflower Palace. No one dared to make a move there, not even a peerless powerhouse. However, that brat actually made a move openly. What was even stranger was that the people of the Moonflower Palace didn't care at all. When they heard that the brat was actually invited away by the master of the Moonflower Palace, these elders were all dumbfounded. What was going on? Where did this brat come from? He was actually able to contact the people of the Moonflower Palace? And it seemed that their relationship wasn't shallow. Later on, when the matter was reported one by one, these elders were completely stunned. This was because they discovered that the other party was too powerful and didn't seem like a young man at all. It seemed that it was this brat who did it. They didn't know what family force was behind him that could actually destroy the 4 Julie demons. No matter who he is, if he dares to provoke our Tang family, we will definitely not let him off. That's for sure. We must catch that brat and tear him into pieces. The elders of the Tang family roared angrily. The Tang family patriarch's face was also gloomy. He began to issue orders. Gather all forces and track down that brat's whereabouts for me. Go to Qianshan City and join forces with the City Lord's mansion. Their young master Qianshan was killed. I don't believe that they won't be angry. If our 2 forces join forces, no matter how strong that brat is, he won't be able to contend against us. Do you really think that our Tang family only has the 4 Julie demons? At this point, the Tang family patriarch's eyes emitted a cold light. Indeed, their Tang family wasn't an ordinary family, but an invincible house of kings. With an invincible king overseeing the family, it could be said to be incomparably terrifying. No matter how strong the other party was, could he contend against an invincible king? Soon, these martial artists of the Tang family moved out. Many people rushed to Qianshan City, preparing to join forces with the City Lord's mansion. However, before they arrived, another group of people arrived at Qianshan City ahead of time. Chapter 2331. This group of people was naturally from the Tai dynasty. They had chased after Lin Xian all the way and had never given up on hunting him down. Finally, they arrived at Qianshan City. However, when they heard the news from Qianshan City, they frowned. They were too late. Moreover, what shocked them was that Lin Xian had done something big in Qianshan City. It was even possible that the death of the Julie 4 demons had something to do with him. That kid was too arrogant. How dare he offend anyone? An elder from the Tai dynasty frowned. A middle-aged man next to him said in a deep voice, "Don't forget that he even dared to kill the Golden Lion King. What else did he not dare to do?" Hearing that, everyone fell silent. Indeed, the Golden Lion King was a genius of the war tribe. If he was killed, the Julie 4 demons were nothing. When they heard that young Master Qian San was killed, they decided to go to the governor's mansion. They thought that the governor's mansion must be furious, and would be very willing to cooperate with them. Sure enough, when these people arrived, the governor personally came out to welcome them. The governor was a middle-aged man who looked very dignified. However, at this moment, his face was extremely gloomy. That was because his son had been killed in his own city. This made him unusually angry. However, he could not find the other party now. Moreover, the other party had a terrifying strength behind him, which made him feel extremely aggrieved. But now, the people from the Tai dynasty had arrived. Moreover, he also learned that the other party was a wanted criminal of the Tai dynasty. The governor revealed a sinister smile. Immediately, he joined forces with the powerhouses of the Tai dynasty to capture the other party. The 2 parties discussed in the main hall. However, half a day later, another group of people arrived. They landed. The people from the governor's mansion were surprised and hurriedly went out. Those people who came were naturally from the Tang family. They were also very surprised. They did not expect that there would be other people besides them. Moreover, what shocked them even more was that the other party was a powerhouse from the Tai dynasty. When the Tang family learned about what happened, they were immediately shocked. The 3 families immediately joined forces. Moreover, the Ting family suggested that they join forces with more families. This was because Lin Xian had not only killed the people from the Ting family and the governor's mansion, but also many young masters from other families. Therefore, they wanted to join forces with those families. Sure enough, those clans responded one after another. If they were asked to come out alone to take revenge, they wouldn't dare. But now, with the city lord's mansion, the Tang family, and the Taitai dynasty taking the lead, they were filled with confidence. Therefore, they all joined the revenge team. When these people joined forces, they formed a super powerful force. Very quickly, they headed towards the place where the great devil was killed. The group of people finally arrived at the location of the battle. They looked at the scene around them and gasped. It was clear that the battle was very fierce. However, they weren't here to enjoy the battle. Instead, they were here to track the other party. Soon, several figures landed on the Tai dynasty's side. Similarly, 2 figures descended from the city lord's mansion and the Tang family. After these people came down, their eyes shone brightly, and mysterious runes surrounded them. They grabbed at the air as if they were trying to catch something. There was even a young man who was pinching his fingers nonstop, as if he was trying to divine something. "How is it?" General Xianying asked in a deep voice. At the side, the eyes of the elders of the city lord's mansion and the Ting family also flickered. "Northwest." The young man looked into the distance and said in a clear voice. "Whoosh." The group flew for about 100,000 li before stopping again. The young man divined again. 30,000 li to the left. They set off again. On the other side, in an empty valley, Lin Xian and the others were resting. Beside them was a huge black ship. There was a terrifying hole on it. This black ship was the Black Demon ship. It had been directly hit by the black earth and was damaged. At this moment, it could no longer fly. However, if it could be repaired, it would still be a sub-heaven artifact. Moreover, the energy required to power the Black Demon ship was much less than the Black Earth. It was just right for Lin Xian to use now. Therefore, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were discussing how to repair the Black Demon ship. On the other side, Murong Qingqing, Zhao Jiruo, and the others were sitting together, chatting and resting. After all, the previous battle had indeed made them nervous. Now, it was time to relax. "Junior brother Lin, I don't think there's anything else, so I'll go home first. After all, such a big thing has happened. I have to inform the family." Zhao Jiruo stood up. At the side, Xiao Kuang also said, "Yes, brother Lin, we're also preparing to return to the Hong sect." "Brother Lin, I can't bear to part with you." Linger pouted. "Don't worry, when I'm free, I'll go to the Hong sect to find you." Lin Xian smiled. Then, he looked at the others. "Do you need me to send you back?" "No need, we should be safe if we go back now." Zhao Jiruo and Xiao Kuan shook their heads. "Junior sister Qingqing, what about you?" Zhao Jiruo looked at Murong Qingqing. Murong Qingqing said, "I want to stay with brother Xian for a while, and we have some things to investigate." However, just as she finished speaking, the purple bell on her waist started to shake rapidly. Seeing this scene, Murong Qingqing frowned. At the side, Zhao Jiruo also said, "This matter?" The sacred ground was sending a message. Could it be that something had happened? It seemed that he had to go back first. Murong Qingqing sighed. "Brother Xian, something happened in the sacred land. I'm afraid I have to go back first." Lin Xian rubbed Qingqing's hair. "If you have something to do, go back. Don't worry about me. There will be plenty of opportunities to meet in the future." "Oh right, this is the information about that place. You can take it back to the sacred land." Lin Xian took out a jade slip and gave it to Murong Qingqing. There was some information about the nest of 10,000 dragons. "Okay." Murong Qingqing took it and said softly, "Brother Xian, be careful. I'm afraid the Ting family won't let this go so easily." "Don't worry, with the Black Earth, I won't be in danger." Lin Xian smiled. At the side, Zhao Jiruo also said, "Junior sister, I'll go back with you." "Buzz." The two of them soared into the sky and quickly disappeared. On the other side, Xiao Kuang also left. Only Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were left. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Let's move. He was prepared to explore the black demon ship above. The most important thing now was to increase his strength. Only then would he have the qualifications to propose to the Jade Lake Sacred Land. With a flash, Lin Xian and the Dark God Dragon boarded the black demon ship. There were palaces and pavilions on the ship, and the deck was engraved with runes. Lin Xian and En Hong swept their gazes across the ship. Then, they nodded in satisfaction. The two of them quickly inquired, but not long after, the Crimson Dragon frowned. Brat, there seems to be a fluctuation in there. I feel it too. Lin Xian stood up and frowned. His eyes emitted a golden light as he looked forward. Chapter 2332. Lin Xian stood up and frowned. His eyes shone with a golden light as he looked ahead. In front of him on the right, there was a fluctuation of life coming from a pavilion. This surprised Lin Xian. He didn't feel it before. Now that he was closer, he felt that there was someone inside. Who was it? He didn't know. But he secretly circulated his internal force, and even pulled out his ancient sword. After all, this black ship belonged to the four demons of Jiuli. The person inside must be related to the four demons of Jiuli. Therefore, he had to be careful. The two of them carefully walked towards the pavilion in front of them. After walking over, Lin Xian's frown deepened. Because the entire pavilion was covered with runes and was sealed. There must be some secret to protect it so tightly. Lin Xian said. Rosalong, hurry up and unlock it. The Crimson Dragon waved its dragon claws and quickly cracked the rune array. These runes were very mysterious. Under normal circumstances, it would take a few days to crack them. But now, the black demon ship was broken and couldn't continue to provide energy. Therefore, it wasn't difficult to crack the runes of this array. This was probably why Lin Xian hadn't sensed any life fluctuations before, but now he did. It was probably because the array was weakened that the fluctuation of life was transmitted. Boom, boom, boom. In front of them, the array runes disappeared, revealing a red door. Lin Xian slapped it open. Let's go. The two of them bloomed with light. Lin Xian even used the dragon sword domain to protect his body. Then, the two of them walked in. Woo woo woo, however, not long after they entered, the two of them were stunned. The Crimson Dragon's eyes widened. What the hell, what's going on? Lin Xian was also very surprised because this scene was completely different from what he had imagined. In front of them wasn't a fierce enemy, but a little girl. There was a huge black stone pillar in front of them. It was engraved with demonic runes. In front of the stone pillar was a little girl. She had delicate features and was very beautiful. From the looks of it, she was only 15 or 16 years old. The little girl was tied to a black stone pillar. Her body was covered with black 9 nether flowers, binding her tightly. At this moment, seeing Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon come in, the little girl in front of them whimpered. Her beautiful big eyes were filled with fear and pleading. What was going on? Why was there a little girl tied up here? Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon were confused. However, from the looks of it, he should have been tied up by the Jiuli four devils as well. However, why did these four devils want to kidnap a little girl? Did this little girl offend the Ting family too? They didn't know, but the two of them walked up and prepared to rescue the little girl. Rosalong! Lin Xian shouted. The Crimson Dragon nodded and began to walk around the black stone pillar. Then it said, Damn, these Jiuli four demons are too perverted! He had actually set up 18 layers of defense to tie up a little girl. If the black demon ship hadn't shattered and the energy hadn't disappeared, we probably wouldn't have known that there was someone here. Is it easy to break? Lin Xian asked. Don't worry, leave it to Ben Wang. He didn't care about this kind of formation at all. The Crimson Dragon waved its dragon claws and quickly broke the formation. The little girl, on the other hand, stared with her black eyes and blinked. After about half a day, The 18 layers of defense were broken. Only the 9 nether flowers were left on the ground. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly and waved his long sword, cutting the 9 nether flowers in half. All of the flowers were destroyed. The little girl was saved. Her large, black, jewel-like eyes were filled with shock. Because she really didn't dare to believe that she was saved. "Little girl, what's your name? Are you scared, silly?" The Crimson Dragon asked when he saw that the other party still didn't leave even though there were no more formation restrictions on them. However, the little girl lowered her head and grabbed the corner of her clothes with her small hands. She was very afraid. Because she wasn't sure who the 2 people in front of her were. "Forget it, come out with us." Lin Xian waved his hand and didn't force her. It was obvious that the other party was very afraid. She would probably be fine after spending some time with him. Lin Xian's soul probed and looked at the other party. He found that she wasn't injured, which made him feel much more at ease. Therefore, he looked around. Other than the little girl being held captive, the rest of the place was empty, and there was nothing else. Lin Xian reincarnated and left the pavilion. Then, he went to other buildings. There were many resources, treasures, cultivation methods, and weapons inside, but no one else was imprisoned. This made Lin Xian very curious. Who was this little girl and why was she imprisoned by the 4 Jiuli demons? However, he thought that her identity must not be simple. Otherwise, a demon king like the 4 Jiuli demons would have set up so many formations. He looked around. Lin Xian had a general understanding of the Black Demon ship. Then, he jumped off the Black Demon ship and went to the side. The Crimson Dragon was sorting out the treasures and resources. The little girl also followed Lin Xian down the Black Demon ship. However, she didn't dare to get too close and kept a distance of 4 to 5 meters from Lin Xian. "What's your name? Why are you imprisoned here?" Lin Xian sat down, looked at the other party, and asked doubtfully. However, that little girl didn't say anything. Her large black eyes were blinking nonstop. Lin Xian shook his head and didn't force the other party. However, at this moment, he heard the other party's stomach rumbling. Immediately, a smile appeared on his face. With a wave of his hand, he built a fire. Then, Lin Xian smiled and said, "Rose along, go and catch a few demon beasts. Oh right, catch a few with meat. Got it. I've become an errand boy." The Crimson Dragon looked unwilling and flew into the distance. The snow-white monkey also came out of the black earth and also flew into the distance. It seemed that it had gone to pick some. After about half an hour, the 2 of them flew back again. Bang bang! The Crimson Dragon threw down a demon bull. This demon bull was green in color and had 2 heads. It looked very ferocious. Its body was very large, like a small mountain. Therefore, when it landed, the ground shook and cracked. In addition, the Crimson Dragon also caught a few blue-eyed demon rabbits. These weren't ordinary rabbits. Each of them was more than 2 meters tall. Although they were dead, their bodies were still emitting a terrifying demonic aura. Woogie on the other side, the snow-white monkey flew over with a small mountain of spiritual fruits. These were all picked by it. These fruits were crystal clear and full of spiritual energy. The snow-white monkey picked a few and hid them well. It seemed that they were snacks prepared for itself. It picked up the rest and ate happily. As it ate, it also threw them to Lin Xian and the little girl. When the snow-white monkey came out, the little girl stared at it without blinking because she found the snow-white monkey too cute. Woogie, the snow-white monkey carried 2 spiritual fruits and came in front of the little girl. A smile finally appeared on the little girl's face, and she even reached out to rub the little fox's head. Lin Xian smiled faintly when he saw this. Then, he began to tidy up the corpses of the demon beasts. Chapter 23-33. Buzz. Soon, piles of barbecued meat were placed on top of the bonfire. Lin Xian flicked his finger and hellfire gushed out, barbecuing the meat quickly. The hellfire burned away all the demonic energy in the meat, ensuring that there was no harm to the human body. Soon, the barbecued meat turned golden. Lin Xian tasted it, and found it delicious. Ben Wang couldn't wait any longer. The Crimson Dragon tore off a cow leg. It was as big as a house and enjoyed its meal. On the other side, the little white monkey also jumped over and snatched one. The little girl swallowed her saliva and blinked her big black eyes. Obviously, she also wanted to eat. Come over. Lin Xian beckoned. The little girl hesitated. She realized that the man and two beasts in front of her didn't seem like bad guys. So, she walked over. Lin Xian gave her a piece of rabbit meat and ate some himself. He asked as he ate, "What's your name?" "Xia Xingchen." "What a nice name." Lin Xian nodded. Then, he asked, "How were you captured? Why did the 4 Jiuli demons capture you?" "I don't know." Xia Xingchen shook her head. "I snuck out of my house to play and was then captured by those bad guys. They'd been trapping me for almost a month." At this point, Xia Xingchen lowered her head, her face full of grievance. Indeed, no one would be happy to be captured for no reason and trapped for a month. However, Lin Xian felt that things weren't that simple. Xia Xingchen's identity was very special. Otherwise, the 4 Jiuli demons wouldn't have captured an ordinary person. However, Lin Xian didn't feel a particularly powerful aura from Xia Xingchen. It seemed that she had cultivated before, but her cultivation wasn't high. So Lin Xian asked, "Where's your house?" "I'll send you back." Such a little girl with a low cultivation wouldn't be able to survive if she walked back alone. Anyway, he wasn't in a hurry. He might as well send her back first. Yes, Peach Blossom Island. Xia Xingchen thought for a moment, and said her home. Hearing the name, Lin Xian was stunned. Peach Blossom Island? He had never heard of him. On the other side, the Crimson Dragon almost bit off its own tongue. Where? Peach Blossom Island? What, you know? Lin Xian asked. Judging from the other party's expression, he should know. The Crimson Dragon nodded. Of course, he knew. However, Peach Blossom Island is located in the East Sea. That was a place even further east than the Eastern Wilderness. Why did you come to Zhongzhou State? Was this the Central State? Isn't it the Eastern Wilderness? Xingchen was also surprised. She scratched her head and took a bite of the rabbit meat. I don't know. I just came out to play for a few days. At this point, Xia Xingchen's face twitched and tears were about to fall. Don't you cry. Lin Xian comforted. Although Peach Blossom Island is a bit far, you can rest assured that I will definitely send you back. However, this might take a long time. Lin Xian decided to help the little girl because he was the one who had saved her. Moreover, looking at her pitiful appearance, he couldn't bear to see her homeless. However, it was impossible for him to return to the Eastern Wilderness now. He still had things to do. Therefore, he decided to keep her by his side for a while. Although he was facing many pursuers, it would be very safe to leave her in the Black Earth. After that, Xia Xingchen stayed by Lin Xian's side. Xiao Bai, let me give you a bath, okay? Xia Xingchen hugged the snow-white monkey and kept rubbing its head. Little dragon, take me to the sky. Not long after, Xia Xingchen grabbed the Crimson Dragon's tail and shook it non-stop. The Crimson Dragon bared its fangs in displeasure. However, in the end, it bent down and pulled Xia Xingchen up. Then, it flew in the valley. Wow, this is great. We can fly. Xia Xingchen was very happy. Lin Xian looked at this scene and was very surprised. One had to know that he had wanted the Crimson Dragon more than once, wanting to use it as a free mount. However, the Crimson Dragon refused no matter what. In the end, Lin Xian gave up. However, he didn't expect the Crimson Dragon to carry someone else. This was too surprising. What kind of magic does this Xia Xingchen have? Big Brother Lin, I'm hungry. I want to eat roasted rabbit. Xia Xingchen flew for a while and came over to grab Lin Xian's arm. Lin Xian could only give her roasted rabbit. 2 days passed like this. Lin Xian put away the Black Demon ship. Then, the group entered the Black Earth. Let's go. Lin Xian decided to go to the border of the 9th Netherworld dynasty. He wanted to lie low for a while. At the same time, he wanted to find some blacksmiths to see if they could repair the Black Demon ship. If he took out the Black Demon ship in the vicinity, it would definitely attract the attention of those people. After all, the Black Demon ship was too famous. However, if he went to the border, things would be different. The forces there were complicated. If it really didn't work, he could go to the opposite country. Not long after Lin Xian and the others left, a black cloud appeared in the sky and pressed down. If one looked carefully, they would realize that it wasn't a black cloud, but people. Countless figures were densely packed. They were like celestial soldiers and generals, floating in the void and emitting a terrifying aura. It directly shattered heaven and earth. Whoosh! Whoosh whoosh! More than 10 figures descended from the sky and arrived at the valley below. They looked around and then frowned. There were many bones of demonic beasts and traces of fire here. It was obvious that someone had lived here. An old man said in a deep voice. These people were the joint forces of the Tai dynasty, the Tang family, and the city lord's residence. At this moment, they had chased all the way here. Damn it, we were still one step too late. A general of the city lord's residence gritted his teeth with an unwilling expression. It seemed that the other party hadn't been gone for long. Mr. Park. Everyone looked at the young man in white. The young man narrowed his eyes and grabbed the aura around him. Then, he pinched his fingers and calculated. Soon, he revealed a cold smile. Don't worry, he won't be able to escape. This time, I can clearly lock onto him. Thank you, Mr. Park. The few powerhouses were overjoyed. Then, the group flew into the distance. In the void, the black earth flew quickly. Lin Xian turned off all the functions and maintained the flying state. This was because he couldn't afford it. However, if it was just flying, he could still bear it. Inside the black earth, Lin Xian sat cross-legged and silently cultivated. In front, Xia Xingchen and the little white monkey were playing, while the Crimson Dragon was studying a new formation. However, at this moment, Lin Xian suddenly opened his eyes. His eyelids were twitching violently, and there were even golden runes floating out of his eyes. What's going on? Seeing this, the Crimson Dragon next to him also turned its head. I don't know, but it feels uneasy. Lin Xian also frowned. This had never happened with the Heavenly Secret Divine Eyes before. What happened? Could it be that there was a problem with the Heavenly Secret Divine Eyes? Chapter 2334. After all, these eyes were not his, but a gift from someone else. Although he felt that they had completely fused. However, he still did not know if they had truly fused or not. Now that something like this had happened, Lin Xian could not help but be suspicious. In the distance, He Tu also floated over. He looked at the golden runes and said, I once heard that the Heavenly Secret Divine Eyes are very mysterious, and seems to be able to warn you. Are you being targeted by someone? It's possible. The dark red divine dragon also said that the people of the Ting clan would not let this matter rest. After all, their family had invincible experts. Moreover, the Tai dynasty and the war tribe would probably chase after them. Lin Xian also frowned. It seemed that it was really a warning. He did not expect the Heavenly Secret Divine Eyes to have such a function. Why did he not notice it before? Indeed, he had been hunted down many times in the past, and was almost killed by the assassins of hell. At that time, the Heavenly Secret Divine Eyes did not warn him in advance. What was going on? He still could not figure it out. He realized that this pair of eyes was too mysterious, as if there were endless mysteries waiting for him to discover. He Tu changed direction. Lin Xian said. He Tu controlled the spirit ship and changed direction, flying in another direction. Sure enough, after a period of time, the light in Lin Xian's eyes disappeared. That feeling of uneasiness also disappeared. This made Lin Xian breathe a sigh of relief. Behind them, in an extremely far place, a group of people flew quickly. Among them, the young man sneered and changed direction. Could it be that the other party had noticed? What was going on? Could it be that the kid wanted to escape? The surrounding experts were also worried. The young man in white sneered. Don't worry, he will definitely not be able to escape from my hands. As he spoke, he pinched his fingers and deduced. Mysterious Tao runes appeared around him, covering the void. It was very profound. It made people feel dizzy just by looking at it. Over here! Not long after, the young man in white opened his eyes. Boom boom! The huge spirit ship under their feet was also flying quickly. In front. In the black earth, Lin Xian's heart beat wildly again, and that uneasy feeling appeared again. At the same time, mysterious runes flashed in his eyes. What's going on? Why is this feeling coming again? Lin Xian frowned. He felt like he was being watched. He told Crimson Shenong and He Tu about this feeling again. The two of them were also very confused after hearing it. Oh no, looks like we've been targeted. Dark Red Shenong angrily slapped his dragon claw. Being targeted? What did that mean? Aren't we being hunted? No, it's different. He Tu also explained. It seems that this time, someone used the great deduction technique to directly lock onto your position. This was different from a blind pursuit. This time, they're heading straight for you. Great deduction technique. Lock onto the position? Lin Xian was shocked. This was the first time he had heard of such a thing. No wonder he had such an uneasy feeling. No wonder his heavenly secret divine eyes would send out such an unusual warning. Damn it, who is it? Tang family? City Lord's mansion? Or the Tai dynasty? Lin Xian frowned. No matter who it was, it would probably be a fierce battle. So in the next moment, he changed his position again. And from then on, Lin Xian kept changing his position every once in a while. Every time he changed his position, his uneasy feeling would disappear. But not long after, the uneasy feeling would appear again. Obviously, the other party had locked onto him again and again. Damn it! Seeing this, Lin Xian's face darkened. He didn't expect the other party to be a master who could lock onto his position so clearly. In the next moment, he asked in a low voice, Can you erase our tracks? For example, hiding our presence or setting up a formation that isolates everything. It's useless. The Crimson Dragon shrugged and said helplessly, This deduction technique is very mysterious. Even if the presence is isolated, he can still find us. It seems to be related to the heavenly Tao of fate. In short, it's very mysterious. Indeed, He Tu also said, This kind of diviner is very rare. Their honorable status is no less than that of a seeker spirit master. The more famous ones are the Astrology Pavilion and the Divination Sect. It was just that he didn't know which clan's expert had made a move this time. The Astrology Pavilion? The Divination Sect? Lin Xian frowned. In the next moment, he didn't give up and sealed his presence. He even directly activated the Black Earth's formation to isolate everything. However, the sense of danger did not disappear. Obviously, the Crimson Dragon and He Tu were right. Speed up. Lin Xian had no choice but to grit his teeth and speed up the Black Earth. However, it was obvious that the people behind them were prepared and also sped up. Finally, the gap between the two sides was getting closer and closer. And Lin Xian's uneasy feeling was getting stronger and stronger. On the 11th day, Lin Xian finally sensed a gigantic spirit vessel behind him that was charging towards him at high speed. Humph! He snorted coldly and stood up. Since he couldn't avoid it, he would fight. Cultivators like us don't fear a battle. He took out the ancient dragon abyss sword. Haha, Benwang will get the first kill this time. The Crimson Dragon also stood up. Xingqian, play here with Xiao Bai. Don't go out. Oh. Xingqian nodded. Big brother Lin, be careful. Then, Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon left the Black Earth in a flash. He Tu also kept shrinking and turned into an earring, hanging on Lin Xian's ear. When Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon appeared, the huge spirit ship behind them also stopped and floated in the void. On the spirit ship, there were many people. Not only that, this was the first spirit ship. Behind it, there were 3 other spirit ships. In addition, there were all kinds of birds and beasts around. It was very terrifying. On those beasts, there were people standing. Each of them was murderous and had piercingly cold gazes. Their gazes were all fixed on Lin Xian. Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, the void in front of them shattered. It couldn't withstand the terrifying pressure at all. "You're that Lin Xian?" Many elders shouted coldly. On the other side, the martial artists in black armor roared, "Kneel down and accept your death!" On the spirit ship, General Xianing was wearing armor and looking forward. "Kid, I've finally caught you. Do you have any last words? Hurry up and stay." Cold voices resounded one after another, piercing through the 9 heavens like swords of murder. Countless figures appeared around them. They were murderous and completely surrounded Lin Xian. At the same time, angry roars sounded. "How dare you kill our young master? Today is the day you die! Do you think you can kill me with just the likes of you?" Terrifying sound waves reverberated. In an instant, the beasts around Lin Xian exploded. The powerful force enveloped all the martial artists on the back of the beasts. Soon, screams of agony could be heard. Chapter 2335. In an instant, nearly 100 warriors turned into blood mist and scattered in the air. "Damn it!" Seeing this scene, the remaining people felt their scalps go numb. "Who the hell is he?" With a roar, he killed more than 100 warriors. This was too terrifying. They were shocked. "Humph! Kid, don't be so arrogant. Today is the day you die." On the spiritual boat, the powerhouse of the Tai dynasty shouted coldly. On the other side, the people of the city lord's mansion emitted a terrifying murderous aura. The warriors of the Tang family sneered. With the 3 superpowers taking the lead, the remaining families also settled down. That's right. This time, there were thousands of soldiers and horses. Even a peerless almighty would not be able to escape. It could be said that the other party would definitely die. "If you want to kill me, you have to pay the price. Who wants to go first?" Lin Xian stood in the void and looked around. He emitted a terrifying murderous aura that spread for thousands of miles. "I'll kill you!" A young man walked out. He was wearing a blue armor that shone like stars. He was a peerless genius from the city lord's mansion. He stood out with a long spear in his hand and snorted coldly. "Kid, I know there's a mysterious powerhouse behind you. Otherwise, it's impossible for you to kill the 4 demons of Jili. Since the powerhouse behind you won't make a move, you alone won't be enough. Today, I'll kill you to avenge my brother." It turned out that he was the elder brother of young Master Qian Shan. His name was Qian Yu. At this moment, he stood in the void, looking valiant. The blue armor on his body shone brightly like the stars in the sky. The blue star spear in his hand was emitting a cold light. "Not enough?" Lin Xian glanced at him with a disdainful smile. How dare a top almighty challenge him? He was courting death. Moreover, from the words of these people, he could tell that they did not think that he had killed the 4 demons of Jili. They all thought that there was a terrifying and mysterious force behind him. Well, let these people be confused. He would teach these people a painful lesson. "Brat, you're courting death." Seeing that he was being looked down upon, Qian Yu roared in anger. He lifted his spear and the terrifying spear transformed into a river of stars that rapidly surged through the air towards Lin Xian. Many people cried out in surprise because Qian Yu's strength was too strong. At such a young age, he had already surpassed many of the older generation. It could be said that he was an incomparably terrifying genius. "Humph! He was overestimating himself," Lin Xian sneered. "Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." Then, he clenched his fist and punched out. Black flames burned. His fist was like a black sun. It surged out and illuminated the surroundings. Boom! With a loud bang, the Milky Way in the sky split open, turning into spiritual chi and dissipating in all directions. As for the black fist, it was not damaged in the slightest. it continued to rapidly charge forward. In the blink of an eye, he arrived before Qian Yu. Damn it, how could he be so strong? Qian Yu's expression changed. He felt a strong sense of danger. Previously, he did not believe that the other party was powerful because everything was just a legend. No matter how strong the other party was, it was impossible to kill a peerless almighty. As long as the other party was not a peerless almighty, he had the confidence to kill the other party. But now, it seemed that it was not the case. The other party's strength far exceeded his. He could even shatter his attack with one punch. Damn it, I don't believe it! Qian Yu shouted angrily. He did not dare to believe it. Endless light appeared on his body, preparing to use his strongest attack. Sky-splitting divine spear. A spear pierced out, shattering heaven and earth. The terrifying spear light pierced through the 9 heavens, causing the surrounding people to feel a chill down their spines. One could imagine how terrifying this spear was. However, it was a pity that this spear only pierced an afterimage. Lin Xian relied on his superb speed to dodge instantly. In an instant, he appeared behind the other party. Is this all you've got? Too weak. With your little strength, you still dare to come and kill me? Cultivate for another 1,000 years. A cold voice sounded behind Qian Yu. Immediately, Qian Yu's body stiffened, and a strong sense of horror appeared in his eyes. Damn it, how could the other party's speed be so fast? He did not react at all. At the next moment, he roared angrily and attacked with a backhand. Boom crack! However, he started to scream miserably. The reason for that was because his arm had been directly broken by his opponent. Ah, uncle, save me! Qian Yu roared crazily, his eyes full of horror. At this moment, he no longer dared to act tough and only wanted to escape. Damn it, let my nephew go! In the distance, on a spirit boat, a middle-aged man roared. He raised his hand and struck out a red cloud of fire, which swept over here, wanting to save Qian Yu. Save Qian Yu? Stop dreaming. Since you came to kill me, you should be prepared to be killed. Lin Xian's arm shook, and suddenly, Qian Yu in front of him directly exploded and turned into a blood mist. He waved his sleeve, and the blood mist in the sky instantly drifted away. Looking at this scene, everyone was stunned. They could not believe that a peerless genius was killed in one move just like that. God, who can tell me? What the hell is going on? How could this kid's strength be so powerful? Looking at this scene, the surrounding people were about to go crazy. The middle-aged man from the city lord's mansion roared crazily. He did not expect that the genius on their side would be killed in an instant by the other party. How could he endure this? How was he going to explain it when he returned? So with a roar, he attacked crazily. The fiery clouds in the sky surged over overwhelmingly. Boom, boom, boom! The void shattered in an instant, and the terrifying flames with extremely high temperature made everyone feel hot. They even felt like they were being burned. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly and did not dodge at all. At the next moment, he raised his hand and struck out a blue palm, which instantly flew out and collided with the other party. There was an explosion of energy that blotted out the sky. The sky was frozen, and the terrifying fiery clouds were frozen in an instant. Not only that, the middle-aged man on the opposite side vomited a large mouthful of blood. Countless frost on his body instantly disappeared, and the chi and blood in his body were frozen. Damn it, how could he be so strong? The middle-aged man vomited a large mouthful of blood, and his face was full of shock. In just one move, he was seriously injured. He was so terrified that he did not dare to attack again. Seeing this scene, the others were terrified again. Who the hell was this person? He was too terrifying. However, on the spirit boat, General Xianing snorted coldly. He waved his hand, and a cold voice sounded. Everyone, listen to my order, kill! Attack together, he could not fight against everyone. Yes. The powerhouses from the Tai dynasty shouted angrily, and then rushed forward together. Kill him! Avenge our clan's powerhouse! The elders from the Ting family also shouted angrily. Illusory images of flying snakes appeared on their bodies, roaring in all directions. The sky was full of divine abilities, and they attacked this side. The people from the city lord's mansion were also full of killing intent. One of their young geniuses had died in front of them, so how could they not go crazy? Therefore, they attacked mercilessly. Chapter 23:36. With the three major forces attacking, the surrounding family members no longer hesitated. They roared angrily and attacked together. Boom! Boom! Up in the sky, on the ground, in all directions, there were terrifying energy waves that completely enveloped the entire sky. Rosalom, do it! Don't hold back, Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Armor appeared on his body, and the ice goddess statue also appeared to protect him. Above his head, the dragon's sword realm fluctuated. Under his feet, the demon's slaying sword formation quickly recovered. The ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand kept swinging. Facing so many experts, Lin Xian did not dare to be careless. On the other side, the crimson dragon was also roaring angrily. His body suddenly expanded, transforming into a divine dragon that was hundreds of feet long. He bared his fangs and brandished his claws in the air. He opened his mouth and spat out balls of dragon flames. Not only that, the sky was filled with dark clouds. Lightning, strong winds, and explosive rain poured down. Anyone who was touched by the flames vomited large mouthfuls of blood and was severely injured. The two of them attacked with all their might. It was truly terrifying. For a time, the energy that was rushing in from all directions was shattered quite a bit. Large groups of warriors vomited blood and flew backward. The weaker ones exploded or were split in half. In short, it was very miserable. The sky was instantly dyed red. The blood was absorbed by the demon's slaying sword formation under his feet. Then, it evolved into demonic beasts that roared ferociously. Damn it! He was too powerful. Many people were terrified. However, the attack did not dissipate. Because this time, the Tai dynasty had mobilized all their forces to capture the other party. They had many experts. Sure enough, in the crowd, an old man snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, a five-colored rainbow fell from the sky. The rainbow was very dreamy. It turned into a light screen and enveloped Lin Xian. It was the five-colored divine red. Many people exclaimed. However, an old man shouted coldly. No, that was the tail of the five-colored divine bird. He did not expect that it would be refined into a treasure. It was absolutely terrifying. The five-colored divine bird was a kind of exotic beast in ancient times. It was very terrifying. The five-colored feathers on his body were excellent materials for refining weapons. He did not expect that it would be refined successfully. Needless to say, the one who attacked was definitely a terrifying expert from the Tai dynasty. Sure enough, the five-colored rainbow was extremely terrifying. It was like a bottle of heavenly sabers that could slash through everything. Humph, let's see how you're going to block this, the old man sneered. This five-colored rainbow was a treasure that he had refined for more than 800 years. Its power was extremely terrifying. Thinking about it, the other party would definitely not be able to escape. Whoosh! Lin Xian naturally felt the power of the five-colored rainbow from the energy that filled the sky. In the next moment, his feet flashed, and his speed suddenly exploded, leaving the place in an instant. Crack! The original void was directly shattered, and Lin Xian appeared in another place. At the same time, he raised his hand and shot out the power of ice and fire, forming the Hell's Ice Lotus and flying to the left. Boom! Boom! The Hell's Ice Lotus blasted onto the five-colored rainbow, creating a shocking explosion. The five-colored rainbow was enveloped by the power of ice and fire, and instantly shattered. As for that old man, he vomited blood and was sent flying. His face was filled with disbelief. Damn it, I don't believe it! Die for me! At this moment, another person also charged over. He was an elder of the Ting family. He held a soaring snake walking stick in his hand. At this moment, it suddenly enlarged to a few thousand meters long. It looked like a real demonic beast that pounced from the sky. Its hideous head emitted a fierce light, and its mouth spewed poisonous gas that filled the sky, completely sealing the surroundings. As soon as the poisonous gas appeared, the other people's faces changed. They all retreated and dared not go forward. They were afraid of being affected by the poisonous gas. Lin Xian also frowned. The poisonous gas was very strong, and he must not let it get close. Therefore, in the next moment, 108,000 sword chi rushed out of his body, forming a terrifying sword screen in front of him. At the same time, he waved his hand. The terrifying hell's fire surged out and burned fiercely, wanting to burn all the poisonous gas in the sky. Whoosh! Whoosh! The terrifying poisonous gas was burned in an instant, and the surroundings returned to normal. Damn it! How's that possible? How can he be so valiant? The elder of the Tang family was also shocked. He did not expect that even their soaring snake poisonous gas could not do anything to him. Whoosh! Nevertheless, Lin Xian's crisis was not resolved because there were too many people around him, and there were too many powerhouses. Sure enough, a cold light emerged from behind him. Like a shooting star, it quickly streaked across the void. It was a powerhouse from the governor's residence. At this moment, he seized the opportunity to launch a fatal attack. He quickly blasted toward the middle of Lin Xian's back. If Ouyang Yangming was hit, he would definitely be pierced through and might even be killed in one blow. Sensing the terrifying aura behind him, Lin Xian snorted coldly, and the sword chi on his body became more dazzling. The terrifying swordlight formed the shadow of a dragon, roaring in all directions as if a real dragon had been reborn. Seeing this, the surrounding people were shocked. A real dragon? No, it's not. It's just a real shadow. An elder of the Tai dynasty said coldly. Even so, it was still terrifying. After Lin Xian was enveloped by the dragon shadow, he suddenly turned around and grabbed out with his left hand like a dragon's claw. Buzz! In the next moment, amidst the endless light, he grabbed a blue spear. This spear naturally belonged to the powerhouse from the governor's residence. He originally wanted to launch a sneak attack. However, he did not expect to be discovered by Ouyang Yangming. Moreover, he was caught by Ouyang Yangming. Damn it! Let go! The powerhouse roared and shook his arms, trying to shatter Lin Xian's palm. However, in the next moment, he screamed in pain. Because Lin Xian held the blue spear in his left hand and waved the ancient dragon abyss sword with his right hand, directly cutting the spear in half. Lin Xian held the spearhead and waved it hard, instantly piercing into the powerhouse's body. Poof! The powerhouse vomited blood crazily and flew backward like a shooting star. Who else? If you're not afraid of death, come at me. Lin Xian held the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand. On the other side, the Crimson Dragon was also happily fighting with a group of martial artists. The sky was filled with energy and lightning, dancing wildly. I'll fight. Look at Behuang's overlord fist. Bang, bang, bang. The fist shadows waved, and in an instant, more than 10 figures were sent flying. Clang, clang, clang. Countless swords and sabers slashed on the Crimson Dragon's body, causing sparks to fly. The Crimson Dragon grimaced in pain and rolled in the air. However, its hard dragon scales blocked all the swords and sabers and did not shatter. However, the pain still made An Hong curse loudly. Damn it, how dare you sneak attack Ben Wang? Let's see if Ben Wang doesn't kick you to death. Kick! Kick! Kick, kick, kick! It kept waving its claws, and the heads of the surrounding 15 or 16 kings were instantly crushed. Damn it, this guy is too strong. Hurry up and come. We have to subdue him. Many people charged towards the Crimson Dragon again. Lin Xian's side was also surrounded by countless powerhouses again. Are you competing in numbers? The Crimson Dragon was furious. It opened its mouth and spat out array after array. Chapter 2337. Are you trying to compete in numbers? The Crimson Dragon was furious. It opened its mouth and spat out formations one after another. Buzz! Terrifying sword chi surged into the sky. Endless fireballs, frost, and lightning danced in the air. In an instant, hundreds of martial artists were enveloped and screamed in pain. How could one not prepare a few more formations when traveling in the martial world? The dark red divine dragon carried a powerful killing array with it at all times in case of an emergency. Now was the time to use them. Elder, make your move! At this moment, many people on the Ting family's spirit boat shouted angrily. At this moment, an old figure stood up. His face had turned into orange peel, and he looked very old. He looked like a skeleton. With every step he took, he would sway as if he would be blown away by the wind at any time. At this moment, everyone looked at him with respect. This was because this was an extremely ancient elder who was extremely frightening. He had lived for about 3,000 years and was about to become a living fossil. At this moment, he looked ahead and frowned. A sharp light burst out from his sunken eyes like two divine lamps. If we don't get rid of this kid, the Ting family won't be at ease, the elder said coldly. Following that, the aura on his body suddenly burst out as if a peerless demon king had awakened. Buzz! With a wave of his sleeve, a snake skin flew out and turned into a mountain that pressed forward. Seeing this, many people exclaimed again and retreated. They did not dare to fight Lin Xian in close combat anymore because the void around Lin Xian shattered again. The powerful pressure made their hearts tremble. It was the Flying Serpent King's skin! It was estimated to be at least 5,000 years old. This was a great weapon of mass destruction. It contained lethal poison. Even a peerless powerhouse would not be able to withstand a little of it. Hearing this, many people hurriedly lit up and retreated. What a joke! They did not dare to touch such a terrifying poison. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the Vine King's snake that was quickly descending from the sky. He did not dodge. Instead, he waited quietly. When it was only 100 meters away from him, he made his move. The ancient dragon abyss sword slashed forward. You overestimate yourself. Go to hell! The elder from the Tang family shouted coldly. His eyes were full of mockery. He did not expect the other party to be so arrogant. Instead of dodging, he directly confronted his Vine Snake King. Wasn't this courting death? Could it be that the other party thought he could destroy the snakeskin? One had to know that this was left behind by a 5,000-year-old peerless great demon. Back then, the Ting Serpent King had almost stepped into the realm of an invincible demon king. Although it failed in the end, its skin was extremely tough. Perhaps even a peerless almighty would not be able to break it. His opponent was just a brat, yet he dared to be so arrogant as to resist his treasure head-on. He was simply courting death. Boom! Boom! In the sky, snakeskin mercilessly descended. On it, streaks of light flickered, and a purple demonic aura emanated from it. It was an extremely terrifying poison, and a single drop was enough to kill a powerful being. If one was wrapped in the soaring Serpent King's skin, anyone below the level of king would die without a doubt. However, what happened this time far exceeded everyone's expectations. The ancient dragon abyss sword in Lin Xian's hand emitted a biting cold sword light. The terrifying sword chi soared into the sky. It made one's heart tremble. Then, the dragon source ancient sword landed on the snakeskin. TSS. TSS. The soaring Serpent King's demonic aura surrounded it as it tried to corrode the opponent's treasure sword. However, the sword chi on the ancient sword was extremely cold. In an instant, the purple poisonous aura was completely destroyed. What? How can the poisonous aura be destroyed? That treasure sword is fine. How is this possible? What kind of treasure sword is that? Even a top-grade treasure weapon can't withstand the corrosion of this poison. These people were stunned. The Ting family's martial artists were even more terrified. The elder also frowned. There was something wrong with that treasure sword. In an instant he saw the crux of the problem. Snatch his treasure sword. It's a supreme treasure sword. The Tang family's elder shouted angrily. Hearing this, many people's eyes lit up. The Ting family's martial artists moved out together. Now that the Ting family's ancient sword was blocked by the soaring Serpent King, the opponent's strength should be greatly reduced. As long as they killed the opponent, the ancient sword would be theirs. At this moment, not only the Ting family, but the Tai dynasty, the governor's residence, and the people from the surrounding families also moved out. Naturally, they could tell that the ancient sword was definitely powerful. It had probably surpassed an Earth-grade treasure sword. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. In an instant, 3,000 experts came around Lin Xian. Terrifying light divine arts rained down on Lin Xian. They wanted to shatter Lin Xian. Go to hell, brat. These people sneered sinisterly. A bunch of ants, how dare you have designs on my treasure sword? Lin Xian snorted coldly. Then, the goddess of ice on his body quickly flapped its wings. A terrifying power of ice instantly surged out. Crack, crack, crack. The 3,000 powerhouses were instantly frozen. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a punch, the ice cubes quickly shattered. The 3,000 powerhouses were torn apart. Swoosh! Seeing this scene, the cultivators who wanted to charge forward stopped in their tracks. Their faces were filled with horror. Damn it, what's going on? He's still so powerful without the treasure sword. They realized that they were wrong. The opponent's strength did not only rely on the terrifying treasure sword. Retreat! Many people felt that things were not going well and frantically retreated. Lin Xian sneered. Don't you think it's too late to leave now? He flicked his finger, and a dragon-shaped sword wave spread out in all directions with him as the center. Puff, puff, puff. This sword wave was too fierce. It carried the power of the great dragon sword soul and was incomparably sharp. The void instantly shattered, and those martial artists were instantly affected. Puff! They were split in half and fell from the sky. In an instant, more than 8,000 martial artists were killed. Old man, it's your turn now. After dealing with those people around him, Lin Xian looked at the skinny old man in the distance again. He could be considered a living fossil. He was more than 3,000 years old, and whether it was his combat experience or combat awareness, he was extremely terrifying. How could such a person not be angry when he was looked down upon by a brat? Of course, the anger of a living fossil was different from the anger of an ordinary person. He would not rush forward impulsively. He wanted to analyze the opponent's weakness and take a targeted killing move. Humph! The living fossil of the Ting family snorted and waved the snake-headed walking stick in his hand. Instantly, the Rattan King snake in the sky shone brightly and emitted a terrifying aura. The snakeskin seemed to have come alive and instantly enveloped the ancient dragon abyss sword, completely binding it. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The ancient sword was bound in the sky and left Lin Xian's hand. Seeing this scene, everyone laughed crazily. Ha ha! Great brat, let's see what you can do without the treasure sword. Kneel and wait for your death. How dare you fight against the living fossil of the Tang family? You're courting death. The Tang family's martial artists sneered. Chapter 2338. How dare you fight against the Tang family's living fossil? You're courting death. The Tang family's martial artists sneered. General Xianying and the others also snorted when they saw this. The corners of their mouths curled up into a sneer. It seemed that joining forces with the Nine Li dynasty's experts and clans was the right choice. However, the other party was too arrogant. Not long after coming to the Nine Li dynasty, he offended countless big families. This time, he was definitely dead. Looking at the bound ancient dragon abyss sword above, Lin Xian was not anxious or angry. This was because he knew that the ancient dragon abyss sword was a heaven-grade treasure sword. Its power was beyond their imagination. No matter how powerful the Ting King snake's skin was, it could not damage the ancient dragon source sword. Therefore, he was not in a hurry to retrieve the sword. He decided to play with these people. Don't these people think that I'm only relying on the treasure sword? Fine, I'll kill them with my bare hands. I'll let them know my true strength. Idiots. On the other side, the Crimson Dragon looked over while fighting and then snorted in disdain. He was aware of Lin Xian's strength. How dare these people look down on him? They must be courting death. Sure enough, in the next moment, those people screamed. This was because Lin Xian did not snatch the ancient Dragon Abyss sword. Instead, he charged forward. His target was the Ting family's spirit boat. Courting death. Seeing that the other party was charging directly at them, the martial artists on the spirit boat were all furious. The illusory Ting snake behind them quickly soared into the sky, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws as it charged forward. TSK, TSK. Bang bang. In an instant, the void in front of them exploded. However, it was useless. Lin Xian waved his hand, grabbed these illusory figures, and rubbed them with force. Boom! The terrifying illusory Ting snake was directly torn into two. This scene was too terrifying. It was too shocking. Those who were torn into pieces vomited blood crazily. Many of them directly split open. I'm dead meat? I'm only relying on the treasure sword. Lin Xian sneered. As he spoke, he opened and closed his fists, bombarding the surroundings. At this moment, he had already charged onto the spirit boat and was surrounded by the Ting family's martial artists. Everything that was hit by the fist was smashed apart and turned into a bloody mist. At the spur of the moment, hundreds of Ting family's martial artists were killed. Damn it, kill him! I must kill him! The eyes of the Ting clan's warriors turned red while the living fossils snorted coldly. Who would have thought that the other party would still be so domineering even without a sword? However, the other party was truly courting death by coming to their spirit vessel. In the next moment, the snake-headed walking stick in his hand swayed gently, and countless array formations formed on the spirit boat. Buzz, 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 the chains danced in the air and instantly wrapped around Lin Xian. Lin Xian's arms, limbs, and head were all bound and dropped to the ground. This is great! The kings of the Tang family heaved a sigh of relief and cheered. Mighty ancestor! Was this the living fossil of the Tang clan? It was indeed powerful. When the other king almighties saw this, they were also extremely shocked. Such a powerful genius had been subdued in an instant. Kill him! The Tang clan's martial artists surrounded them again. They stood below and looked up at Lin Xian, who was hanging in the air, and roared ferociously. Wouldn't killing him be letting him off too easily? Don't worry, I'll make him suffer a fate worse than death. The living fossil of the Tang clan snorted coldly. Let me try first. A young man stood out. He was also a genius of the Tang clan. His face was originally filled with fear, but when he saw that the other party was captured, a sinister smile appeared on his face. In the next moment, he raised his hand and shot out countless lightning bolts that struck Lin Xian's body. Instantly, energy exploded, and a sea of lightning engulfed the area in front of him. Would he be killed? Don't worry, with the living fossil of the Tang clan, that brat would definitely not die. However, he would inevitably be tortured for a while. It would probably be difficult for him to escape for the rest of his life. He asked for it. How dare he kill so many geniuses and offend so many clans? He'll definitely die. The people around them shouted coldly. The people from the governor's residence also flashed and prepared to join in the torture. On the other hand, the people from the Tai dynasty said, General, should we snatch him? General Xianying narrowed his eyes. Don't panic, that brat won't die for the time being. Let these people vent their anger first. When they're half dead, we'll ask for him. Good idea, but I can't help but want to try. On the Tai dynasty's side, many people also rushed over. They also wanted to torture the other party. On the other battlefield, the Crimson Dragon was surrounded by countless figures and was in an intense battle. Humph, an old man sneered. Why are you still struggling? Your companions have been locked up. I advise you to surrender obediently and join the Tang clan. The Tang clan can let you be our guardian beast. Otherwise, you'll only end up dead. Yes, surrender to the governor's residence, and we can spare your life. Follow the Tai dynasty, and you can become an invincible demon king. However, if you dare to go against us, you'll end up like that brat. A fate worse than death. Cold shouts were heard. TSK. Facing this threat, the Crimson Dragon sneered disdainfully. He did not believe that Lin Xian was really captured. After all, Lin Xian had so many trump cards that it was definitely beyond everyone's expectations. Just you wait, these people will soon regret it. Therefore, in the next moment, the Crimson Dragon sneered. What, you still want to threaten Ben Huang? I advise you to quickly kneel down obediently and be Ben Huang's human pets. If you perform well, Ben Huang will reward you with 1 or 2 great abilities of the Dragon Clan and let you soar. Otherwise, I'll turn you into barbecue now. You're courting death. Hearing this, the surrounding powerhouses and mighty figures roared angrily and intensified their attacks. However, the Crimson Dragon had many formations, and the Crimson Dragon was extremely terrifying. Therefore, for a moment, no one could do anything. At this moment, on the other side, where Lin Xian was, the sea of lightning slowly disappeared. As Lin Xian was tied up in chains and hung in midair, the warriors of the Tang family, Tai dynasty, City Lord's mansion, and the surrounding large families all rushed over. As if they had gone crazy, they attacked without any regard for their lives. All kinds of fireballs, lightning, and torrential rain. Saber light and sword shadows. In short, they used everything they could to attack. In an instant, the void where Lin Xian was directly shattered. Terrifying cracks spread in all directions. Seeing this scene, many people stopped attacking and revealed sinister smiles. They wanted to see how half-dead the other party was. Therefore, they waited patiently. The light in front of them finally dissipated, and gradually, a figure was revealed. However, in the next moment, these people were all stunned, as if they had been petrified. Even the living fossil elder of the Tang family narrowed his eyes. In the distance, General Xianying and the others frowned. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.